What's going on, everybody? It's Musty Hobbit, and we have another Cartridge Club Hangout. We are a day later than usual because of Halloween, so we are doing this on Wednesday, November 1st. New month, new Cartridge Club game of the month, which I am super excited for, and that is Mass Effect 2. One of my favorite games of all time, and quite excited to play through that again and talk about it with people. So hoping to see a lot of people jumping in on that one. Not a long game. You have plenty of time in November. And for some of you, especially stateside, if get the opportunity to play it with holiday weeks and things like that, that'll be a good opportunity for that. You probably noticed the difference. I am in our third bedroom, which is where my main computer is, and I was doing a little bit of editing for Second Breakfast, so it's not lit quite the way that my basement is, so apologies for that. I will be making my way downstairs at some point and picking things up as we normally do, but I've had a busy week since the last time we were on. Obviously, the biggest news is that we had the collectively one of the biggest media days ever. 3 major game releases. 2 of them, at least 2 of them probably in consideration for Game of the Year. And then Stranger Things Season 2 came out. Watching that, we are about, I think we've gotten through 5 episodes. I thought there were 10. I heard somebody say that there were 9, so we're at the halfway point, let's just say. Playing through Odyssey. I actually had a really good trade-in deal with GameStop because they were offering 40% additional trade credit toward some major new releases, and so I utilized that. Traded in some extras of original Xbox games that I had because why sit on those when they're actually going to start netting me some money? So I use those to trade up for Odyssey and Wolfenstein 2, which I got on the PS4. Normally, I know I said that I was going to stick to shooters, not being shooters would be on the Xbox, mostly because I like staggered sticks on a controller, but I had been sort of challenged by its rocket sauce that the PS4 controller is superior, so I wanted to try that and see if he was right. More later on that. We'll talk about that at some other point. I assume that we'll get others in here shortly. Hopefully we have a nice productive evening, and I would think, hopefully, I know we'll try to keep things as spoiler-free as possible for those who are playing through. Probably talk about Mario a little bit. We'll probably talk a little bit about Wolfenstein, although I don't know that there's a lot of people who are normally on the Hangouts who are playing that, but and we'll keep the Stranger Things spoilers to a minimum as well. Yeah, how was your Halloween? I put together a costume. I went as Evil Emperor Zurg from Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear's arch nemesis, and my son was Buzz Lightyear. So we had gotten his costume. For him, I'm kind of in the we'll do store-bought for him at this point until I either get a little more practice at costume making. He's just kind of in those ones that it doesn't hurt me if they get torn up or something like that. So he went as Buzz Lightyear. I went as Zurg, and then my wife went as one of the aliens from the Claw game, which was pretty. It was pretty nice to have a good family costume. I initially was going to go as Woody instead of Buzz. However, I was looking at Goodwill for kind of the costume pieces that would make that work, and the issue there was that they did not have hats that were going to fit me, and so I kind of just wanted to pull an audible. And so, with a week to go until Halloween, you say, oh, it's okay, I'll just make this Zerg costume from scratch, which is what I did. I borrowed a sewing machine from a coworker who she had lent me it a couple of years ago when we did we were Pac-Man ghosts a couple of years back, and yeah, it was a nice it was a good time. It was cold, which was kind of unfortunate. I made the outfit and I didn't really make it very accessible, and so it was kind of like wearing like I would imagine wearing like a maxi dress would be all day. Not my thing. So hopefully I have there's a costume contest at work for the project that I'm on. I'm hoping that I win that. I won it last year, so I have a reputation to uphold. So fingers crossed that I win again. Hello.
Why are you talking to yourself?
I'm talking to the viewer. Singular.
Oh, I was thinking you're missing a plural there.
No, there's just one right now. But how's it going?
You got two now. I'm watching. I'm on a building site.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Tired.
I can imagine. Quite the substantial video you decided to drop on us.
What do you mean? Hang on.
Your finale.
You like it?
It was good. Yeah, it was good stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I tried to actually really push the production up.
Oh,
I didn't know about the drug abuse. But I kept it in there anyway. I was on the fence. I'm not going to be getting any calls from Nintendo anytime soon.
You'll be all right.
That's all right.
You'll be all right. Yeah. Hello, guys.
How you boys doing?
Hey. Hello.
Sorry for the change in scenery.
Is your son all right, Musty?
What's that?
Is your son all right now? Is he still unremarkable?
Still unremarkable, yes. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, he was Buzz Lightyear yesterday, which I guess is remarkable.
Oh yeah, you had Halloween yesterday. We had it the day before.
Yeah. Let me pull up. I'll pull up a picture of the family.
How are you, Eric? You growing a beard?
Yeah, that was for Halloween-ish.
Nice.
Also awesome. Yeah, this was here. Let's get that to color correct. Focus. Enhance.
What are you? Are you out of four?
Enhance.
Yeah. So I was Zerg. It's all washed out. I don't know why it's all.
Yeah.
If you have it on your computer, you can just share it.
Oh, you went as Toy Story. Nice. Oh, the bad Galactic Emperor Zerg out of Toy Story.
Yes.
Buzz Lightyear series. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Problem is, then I wake up today and I look on Twitter and there's pictures of Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel, and they totally like crushed us.
They stole your idea, I'm sure. I'm sure they saw that and was like, yeah, haha.
I didn't have an army of people to. Here, let me.
All right, so I'm probably going to go for a bit because I've got to use this bad boy and drill through some holes in the wall to get some piping through it.
Good luck.
Let me show this real quick.
It happened to my hands.
Sorry.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
Careful.
All right, I'll be on in a bit, guys. I'll be on in about now.
All right, take care.
Oop, that's called sheet caking.
See you, Eric. See you, Andrew. See you, Musty.
All right. Really... We'll see you later.
Is your missus one of those alien things? Yes, she is with the three eyes.
Okay.
She is.
Nice.
Yep.
Righto, mate. See you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good time. We had
Present that as well for it to stay up.
That was
But,
awesome.
Oh yeah, I should just present it, but no, it's fine. I think I'll probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we did. I enjoy the fact that he likes store-bought costumes right now. But like, if I can come up with my costume like a little bit more in advance, I pulled that off in a weekend. Mine.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It was stressful.
I'll bet.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Nothing like a little real-time deadline, huh?
Yeah. Well, at first it was like my wife was like, "Oh, we can go to this thing on Sunday." I'm like, I can try. At that point, I didn't have the helmet made, and the helmet was the last thing I did, and it kind of got thrown together. There's a lot of staples on that thing. But yeah. So did you guys go out as Retro Nonsense, or did you have other costumes?
Oh, no. That was just for the video. No, that was just for the fun of the video.
That was great.
Thanks. Yeah, that was fun to do. We'll see what Duke thinks of it. I don't know if he's seen it, but
you're just going to keep it quiet and not draw too much attention.
No, I try not to. I don't need to advertise. If people see it naturally, I like that a little. I'm sure I guess maybe if we're lucky, P1 or P2 will mention it during weekly, and Duke will maybe go see it, but
yeah.
I'm not going to call him out to it.
It's almost more fun that way.
Yeah, it's just
like all the people that I tagged in my tag video. I really dead-ended that thing.
What was that? I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Oh, the
one I should have asked you and Troy.
This is the what was it? Something that you're proud to have in your collection?
Three things that I'm proud to have.
Yeah. We were gonna do. I told Melissa, we should do it anyway. I don't care if we're tagged.
You should.
And then I thought we would do 3 things that we are embarrassed.
Embarrassed to own?
I don't know. I thought it would be funny to just flip it on its head and say 3 things we're mortified that we have in our collection.
I cut one of those out of my collection in the last 12 months.
You did? What did you have that you were embarrassed to have?
The guy game.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Well, Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan gave me tons of grief over it, and I'm just like,
Ryan.
Like, part of me just wants to find a sealed copy so I at least have some plausible deniability.
Oh, please. That guy dumped a half a bottle of ketchup on a chicken sandwich, okay? Don't worry about what he says. I'm teasing. I'm sure he'll hear that.
I mean, his definition of that situation might be that he dumped a chicken sandwich on a half bottle of ketchup.
Yeah, he flavored some ketchup with a little bit of chicken. A little chicken flavor for the ketchup. Anyway, yeah, the guy game. Yeah, I've almost thought about picking that up.
Yeah.
I mean,
what the hell? I mean,
it's a rare piece of history.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a. I don't know. We've talked about it.
So what's the concern? That girl was underage?
She lied. Yeah, she lied about her age.
What was she, 17?
She was at the time of filming, but by the time the game was out, she was 18. That doesn't really matter.
Okay,
right?
but no, it's
as of the
fine.
time. So
she's a little underage. Okay, yeah, okay, I get it. That's a little maybe questionable. Fine.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, is there any chance of you being actually legally in trouble for owning that? Would that be considered child pornography at that point?
No, Ryan's here to attest to that, right?
Okay.
Did I just hear child porn?
Well, I'm asking about the guy game because that girl was under 18. If you own the game, are you considered to have owned child pornography?
I think that does actually fall under that case.
Yeah, boy.
I think it does. In my opinion,
I think legally it might too. Yeah. Where's Diego? We got to get him in here. Maybe I'll send out a tweet. Diego, we need to talk to you about child porn. Get in here.
All the clips are happening early on.
We're
talking about the guy game on Xbox, everyone.
And Diego won't care.
way to kill my monetization on this thing.
Are you serious?
No, I'm totally joking.
Okay, because yeah, I'm actually a little worried now that I crossed the line here.
We're probably flagging something.
My PRGE pickup video got flagged for being inappropriate for advertisers. So, and here's the beauty. You know, I hear people complaining about that. That's great. I understand if you're making money on YouTube. I am not. But you don't even have any recourse unless your video gets to 1,000 views.
Yeah.
So I can submit for a review. They won't even look at it unless the video hits 1,000 views. Newsflash: I don't have any videos that have ever hit 1,000.
Not even that's the way I see it.
I don't think so. I think my highest is my GameCube collection overview, and that's at like 700. So I have no chance. If they flag it for review, if they flag it as not friendly, I'm done. There's nothing I don't have the subscriber base to warrant them reviewing it.
Yeah,
okay.
I haven't cracked 200 on a single video yet.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I also haven't cracked 10,000 total channel views, so I'm not even to the point where I can monetize.
Yeah, well, we've been on for 4 years now, 5 years. So yeah, we had enough. We have enough total videos with enough meager views that it somehow made it over 10,000. But I don't have enough to warrant a review on that one, so I guess I'm not allowed.
Now, does that mean they won't run ads on it, or they can't let you have
money on it?
It says they won't. It says they are going to limit the kinds of ads. It will severely limit the ads that they will place on it. That said,
for like KY and stuff like that, and Trojan condoms, and
yeah, I don't know what they're talking about, because I watched the video once or put it on myself, and there was an ad, and I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't for that stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're talking about, but apparently it's flagged. I have no idea what about my pickups are offensive to advertisers. I have no recourse because I don't get 1,000 views. So
they find all your sealed amiibos offensive.
Speaking of sealed amiibo, well, maybe we'll speak of them later.
Yeah.
So back to child pornography.
Oh my god.
Or not.
No, we were talking about
the guy game.
Yeah, well, before that, you were talking about doing like the three things in your collection that you're kind of mortified to own.
Oh yeah.
One of my three would be an item that came with a mouse pad.
Musty, is that the reason why you dumped the child game, the guy game?
I'm calling it that.
I just called it.
You're gonna get in trouble here.
I mean, it's worth money. Somebody was willing to trade me something else for it. Yeah. And I didn't feel like I needed to own it at the time. Now, if I decide in the future to go for a complete Xbox collection again, maybe that's the last one that I get.
But does making an online deal to trade a copy of the guy game count as the greasiest of trunk deals?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, though, if it's in your possession, basically, that is technically owning child pornography.
Isn't selling it worse?
That's just at the same level, I think, right?
Oh, boy.
I mean, we can ask Jared from Subway, right? We can ask him because he got fucked with it.
Yeah, we're going to ask him.
I mean, if you want to look about it, I think it's technically illegal to own, to watch like those Tracy Lords movies from the 80s, right? Because she was underage.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Even though she had like a fake ID, because that's the same situation where if you own it, basically, then you're in trouble. Right. Even though at the time everyone assumed she was of age. But she had, I guess, a very good fake.
I don't want to argue the merits of whether.
No, I'm just saying. I
think this conversation has already gone a little too far.
Because I'm just saying, because stores sell the guy game. I've seen it sold at retro game stores.
Yeah,
I just think people don't know of that, and that's why they're selling it basically. And cops probably don't care because it's a video game. But like, if they really knew, basically, because that's how I got pulled from the shelves, right?
They had to cease sales of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lawsuit. I don't know what came of the lawsuit. I don't know. Don't know.
Yeah,
that's an interesting topic.
Mario.
No,
yeah, right.
Let's talk about that.
That's a good discussion right here. There should be a weekly question. Does owning
No, we're not repeating this question anymore.
I gotta remember hashtag CC answers.
No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Save it for next week. Save it for next week. You got it.
No.
Or this could be a second breakfast topic.
No, it won't be a second breakfast.
Why not?
It won't be a second. Wow.
And no parody second breakfasts either.
Oh, that's an idea.
First lunch.
First lunch. Lunch 0.
Yeah.
Is that 0-calorie lunch?
No, it's the lunch before the official lunch. So
Yes.
it's
Sugar-free
effectively
lunch.
second breakfast or lunch 0. I like that. I think I got my Halloween cute out house next year ready to go. All right.
Yeah. I'm surprised Troy's not here yet. He's got to talk up his.
Well, don't you usually start this at 8:30?
Well, sorry. Agent Pollo is saying that he's not seeing things.
Yeah, I can see the feed when I go back to live on the video.
I would check your browser, maybe. Maybe it's your browser. There's, if you watch it through Chrome, try Firefox or.
I'm using Chrome to do this, and that works on YouTube for me.
I mean, it was working when I checked a little minute ago. To pop
Yeah,
out the chat, but
I just checked and it was fine. But the obvious thing to do would be reload, but you've probably done that already.
But yeah, so I think I was in the middle of so I'm in the other room. I'm in not the basement right now.
Gas.
So I was working on second breakfast. So at some point I'll make my way back down there.
Cool.
Yeah.
You say you got yourself all sorted out there?
Who does?
On your video tomorrow, you're all sorted out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
was that the cat?
Yes, that was the cat. Yeah, so I use this again, which is I will admit.
I saw you on.
If I can find a better way to feed, like if I can get a mic that actually feeds directly into this thing, that would be a huge time saver. Yeah,
Why don't
well,
you? Do you ever check like Amazon or something, or for a boom like?
I have the blue with the boom and everything, but it doesn't feed into 3.5. It doesn't fit into 3.5 jack in there. There's no USB option for this. But this is on loan, so to this point, nobody seemed to notice the quality difference, which either means that I'm ruining the quality or it was unremarkable. But
Or they lied to you about the specs of the camera.
no, I mean, the file size is significant.
Oh.
Like a 9-minute video is like 2.5 gigs.
Well, isn't the only true way, or are you filming it in 4K or something, or what?
I mean, I film on the highest resolution that I can in this. I don't film in 4K on my phone.
Maybe the reason is because most people watch it like on a mobile device, or they're not watching it on their TV or something. You won't really notice the difference.
Yeah, they probably bring it down to 720
That's possible.
or something.
Yeah, because honestly, that's how I watch almost all my YouTubes.
1080p is probably the highest you could possibly justify going file size wise.
That's what I export as right now.
Yeah, for if your content is something that's not reliant on resolution to convey the thing you're making a video about.
Which is tough because my subject matter is teetering right now on that edge. Because I can throw gameplay footage at you, but the problem is that a lot of the gameplay footage I'm getting, or the videos that I'm showing, are in 720, maybe 1080.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that I'm even able to rip from YouTube's only at 720. So.
Oh, did we lose Musty?
No. I'm here.
Your screen's black on my screen. Never mind, you're back.
Okay. But yeah, I'm glad my computer works again. Kudos to my work friend.
Hey.
And works with my other graphics
Good job.
card in. So I don't know what happened, but he fixed it for me.
Sounds like it got unplugged. Was it a USB card?
Yeah, no, I just unplugged the.
Oh, that was your USB? I thought it
That
was
was me.
mine.
Yep. Gotta put this back in the 64 gig SD card.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm debating whether to look at a camera upgrade. Currently it adds a couple extra steps, but those are things that I can streamline out in the future.
In the year 2000.
Yes. Hey, quality is not, I guess, everything, because some people out there have quite a following without putting a whole lot of production into it. Not anyone in the club. I'm talking about outside the club.
Notable YouTubers.
Yeah.
Notable.
Yeah.
Let's name them. Let's start off.
Let's start naming them.
Yeah.
I was going to say something not about YouTubers.
What, USBs?
Oh, I know what it is. I was going to tell you guys GameStop is selling used Xbox One Connects for $20.
Keep sliding.
Okay. For the voice commands alone.
I imagine you can find them at a Goodwill coming shortly.
I'm surprised they haven't added a standalone microphone that doesn't require, that can plug in through that same port.
That would be cool. I would do that because I don't need all the Connect crap.
So the Connect, it's not USB, standard USB, right?
It has a proprietary port.
See, to me, that seems like an absolute waste where it could just be done through USB.
It can now on the Xbox One S.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have an adapter, and presumably the proprietary port is nothing much more complicated than USB with more probably out of spec power delivery. Out of USB spec, they couldn't make it a pure USB port because needs too much power. But the adapter probably, at least I know on the 360, the adapter is nothing more than a thing that splits out the power in the USB. And I know that you can get an adapter for the Kinect on the Xbox One S. So, and that will have to connect to USB. So,
and it'll have to work with the X as well because they've already acknowledged that all your peripherals will work.
Yeah. So they could make a Connect. It would connect to USB and then it would have its own power supply.
I mean, they could just call it Cortana, right?
Yeah. Maybe they will do that. That makes sense, right?
I said it today, November 1st. Call it Cortana. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Phil.
You know what I do with Cortana? Anytime I boot up a Windows 10 machine, turn her right off, and I hide her.
All right.
You want to enable voice commands? No.
No, I do not. Well, I like them on the Xbox One well enough. I mean, they
Siri,
occasionally
turn off Cortana.
Huh?
Hey Siri, turn off Cortana.
Yeah, right.
Did you find a third game, Eric, for pre-order?
No.
For targets for their.
I have found several sets of triplets to order, and the ones I have ordered are I found three $50 games. The only pre-order I have done is Horizon Complete.
Is that a $50 game?
That is on Target right now. So it was 50. I got the Metroid Metroid Samus Returns 3DS Special Edition. They still had that, so I grabbed that for 50. And then I grabbed Yoshi's Woolly World with the Poochie amiibo, which was the one I maybe shouldn't have got, but I ultimately decided 3DS games, this is fine. It's not, the game's old. It doesn't seem to be dropping in price any longer or ever. So I just grabbed it and made three $50 games. So those are the three I got.
You didn't do Resident Evil Gold Edition?
I didn't yet because the last two Resident Evil games I bought, and I know 7 is better than 5 and 6, but I bought them and they proceeded to continue to plummet in price. So I have no doubt I will be able to get Resident Evil Gold at a Goodwill for $4 in a year, or that's, I'm kidding mostly, but
no,
I should be able to get Resident Evil
understand.
7, even the Gold Edition, fairly cheaply.
I just want to play it right away. I've been holding off for a whole year, so that's I have that. Yeah,
okay.
And I want Horizon.
Yeah, those were on my list originally, but I ultimately decided to hold off on Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
I made the gamble, like you said. You made a good point, right? And I was already thinking something similar, which is I want to pick games that I don't think are going to have good Black Friday deals.
Mm-hmm.
And
these
this
are
is based
after Black Friday.
Resident Evil is too. Okay. Well, I think Resident Evil tend to drop in price, so I'm not worried about it long term, and I'm not ready to play it yet, so I waited.
Mm-hmm.
But I did it was on my list originally before Poochie or whatever that thing is, but I took it off and replaced it with the 3DS game.
Did you do it in store or online?
Online.
Okay.
I'm not messing with in store, man. I did it online, and I'll tell you, I guess I will spoil my pickups perhaps. I ordered 3, but it works on amiibos, by the way. So I ordered 3 amiibos. They smashed them into that box, so they're all the backing cards are like creased. So I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to, this is where I become a jerk. If I'm simply going to order 3 of them again, pick the best 3 and return the other 3.
Smart. I like the thinking. That's not a jerk move. That's a smart
It's not something
move.
I like to do, but since they damaged the product and I'm sure they don't have them in the store, I'll just order 3 more and pick the best ones and hope these second don't get as damaged.
Stick it to them.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't feel too guilty about it.
Nope.
Anyway. Or I may do nothing because I'm starting not to care as much about how pristine the amiibos are.
Battlefront 2. So Thanksgiving is what day here?
It's usually the 4th.
It's a Thursday.
Boy, you're on fire today, Musty. What with the
so I imagine
it ended on an out, and it's probably on a Thursday.
That's not always how it ends, but that one.
I watched the first part of the game, and the Astros were leading, and then I missed the end, and I'm like, oh, I should see. But then Diego announced that there was a Game 7, to which my response was, I guess I don't need to look up what happened. I didn't want to come off as too bitter.
About what?
Because he spoiled it, basically. By saying there's a Game 7, I now know who won.
Oh.
I hadn't seen the rest of the game.
Oh, my. I just looked at the score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe you shouldn't spoil it for people who are watching. I will look it up myself. When I saw the score spoiled for me about a half an hour ago, it looked definitive.
Oh no, don't spoil the sports ball game for me.
The sports ball. All right, did we get Thanksgiving? It's the 4th Thursday, so the 23rd.
The 23rd, yeah. So maybe Star Wars, but that's a $60 game.
What now?
I was just trying to think of a third game to add to this, basically, if I was going to do the buy 2 get 1 free sale. Because actually, this one does interest me.
Do you have Metroid, or do you have no interest in that? Okay.
No, I haven't.
There weren't very many $50 games. That was the problem. Resident Evil is one of them. Horizon Zero Dawn is one. Metroid was one.
Is there any notable January releases for pre-order?
Not that I saw.
I mean,
I can
this
check
year's
my
been
list.
outstanding. It was like all year round here.
I don't think I had any other 50s.
Mm.
I think I had those 4, and I ultimately pushed Resident Evil.
I might try to trick my friend into being the third game then. Because I know he hasn't got Resident Evil 7 yet.
There you go. I've done that. Call around. I call my brothers. I call people. Hey, I need another game. You want to go in on this? Needless to say, I do not need to go in with you on any. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
They have. You got Zelda? Oh, Switch games don't work.
Yeah, it's stupid, right?
It's interesting that they opted for that.
Because there was a 1-2 Switch was one I was maybe going to get. Or Zelda, which I don't have. Black Ops 3 Gold Edition is $50. I don't suppose you have any interest in that. 1-2 Switch is $50, but I don't think that applies.
Nope. Just gotta see January 2018 if there's any.
Let me see if they have those any of those amiibo in stock anymore. They don't. I bet they don't have all three.
January. I mean, unlike last year, I think we kind of knew what we were getting at the beginning of the year, right? We all knew Zelda was coming. At this point in time, we all knew Zelda was coming in March. We knew Resident Evil was coming in February. Nier was coming in March. So we knew we had, I think, a really strong start of the season, but I don't know if there's anything right off the bat. I guess they had that. I don't know. Let's take a look. Shadow of Colossus remake.
Yeah, I can't stick it to the man because they don't have 2 of the 3 amiibo in stock anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I got another set of 3 $30 games. I'm trying to decide if I want to pull the trigger on. But we spent a lot at PRGE, and I've already put in 2 orders at Target, so Melissa's running out of patience.
Oh, man. Clock Talk came out
It did?
on time. Yes.
It's not supposed to be out until Friday.
Hey. I'm proud of them. See, hey, yes. That is the... We're finally using Shadow Drop the right way.
Take your word for it.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. So, Ryan, I won that drawing.
I saw that.
Yay.
So what was
it?
Clock Talk drawing?
No, it was some Midwest community one that me and Musty were in.
Oh.
So they did a contest for October, and it was take a picture of yourself playing a retro spooky game, and then the second drawing was take a picture of you in front of the completion screen for a spooky retro game. So I went in on just the played because I have not finished Eternal Darkness, but I have started Eternal Darkness.
Yeah.
And I won that drawing.
Nice.
So I get, what do I get? I get Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Xbox, Area 51 on PS2, 6 VHS tapes of scary retro movies.
Let me look that over, Musty. I would like to.
The movies?
Yeah.
You can probably have them. I really don't have a need for them, but they are
nice.
Here.
They listed because I didn't see a list of the movies.
There's a picture of them. Frankenstein, like the original. Okay. Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest.
There were sequels to that?
Urban Harvest.
Children of the Corn, there's like 7 Children of the Corn.
Jesus.
Yeah. Crucible of Terror, which I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Love that movie.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare, digitally remastered on VHS, and Howl 4, the original Nightmare.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, again, all on VHS. But
I've been debating starting to collect like old horror movies too. because like I said in high school, I used to just watch like the really bad ones too from like the 80s, the grindhouse ones. When they were talking about what's called Sleepaway Camp, I knew exactly what they were talking about on Fandango. So I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that
I need
movie.
to watch that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a
I don't
treat.
know what I want to.
It's they're not lying when it's bad. It's a bad movie, but it's kind of funny when I think it's funny. Now that last scene is haunting. That will get you. That's something that will be. I've seen it probably. I've seen it twice because I went back to rewatch it after listening to How Did This Get Made episode where they talked about it.
Dang,
And-
Bonus Barrel just dropped too? Or was
Yep.
that earlier today? Sorry.
No, it just dropped too.
I just got the alert.
But no, it's something I debate just because I love like the, not even the bad ones. Some of the just like the corny ones. I love like Critters, and you can even consider like I think you could probably
I remember Critters.
Critters was interesting, man. I think there's like 4 of them, but I can only really recall the first 2.
About Suburban Commando.
Oh, terrible movie, but I've seen it. That's with Hulk Hogan and
Yep,
Christopher Lloyd, I think. The guy
maybe.
played Doc Brown.
Yeah.
He's in it. And the Undertaker is like one of the bad guys in that movie. In the movie, it's not that good, but the trailer that plays before, if you own Ninja Turtles 2 on VHS, the trailer for Suburban Commando is fantastic. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but the trailer, because I watched it so many times, I love that trailer. It's so good.
Yeah.
I probably have that then because I have that VHS tape.
Oh, it was
Okay,
trailer's
so I have
way
to ask, who's seen Superman 3 and understands why I'm terrified of it?
I have seen it, but
I've
it's
seen
been a long time. I don't remember.
Oh, I've seen it many, many times. Dozens.
But
Do you know which
why,
scene
though?
I'm talking about?
I can think of several. Several awful, awkward, nasty scenes. So no, I don't know exactly which scene you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
I presume it's somewhere with the evil Superman.
No, it's the cyborg.
The hell?
It is-
Oh, you
Cyborg
made
in
it
that
almost
movie?
near the end.
I have not watched past that part because I was maybe 5 or 6 when I watched that.
Oh yeah, you mean like generally scary to a 5-year-old?
Like it scared me to the point where I had to run up to the television and like pulled the plug.
Yes.
Because-
Okay. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yes. If you mean like generally a horrifying or scary scene to a child, yes. I remember the cyborg. I could see that.
So I
That would freak out a kid.
haven't-
Yeah.
I haven't gone back to it. I know the clip is on like I found an article because I was like, am I thinking of the right movie? And I looked and there's like somebody who had I guess very similar experience about how this movie like it may be campy or cheesy, but for some reason that scene is like burned in the back of my head, and I have not thought to even try watching it again.
I think I remember reading something about that movie that Brainiac was supposed to be the villain of that movie, and the guy who maybe one of the producers who was in charge of making it loved Richard Pryor so much he's like, we're just gonna put Richard Pryor in this movie, and Richard Pryor was supposed to be the villain, and then he said, no, just do your comedy, Richard Pryor, because we love the comedy. So so he went from like, because that's why he was like, because what he builds the computer, right? Because that's the big thing is there's an evil computer, and eventually Richard Pryor I think helps Superman take it down at the end. Spoilers for Superman 3, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
No one actually wants to watch or have watched.
I've watched it like once in my life, basically.
Actually, I remembered a story about that a little bit. Just I saw an interview. Like this was when Smallville was on TV, but I saw an interview with the actress that was playing Clark's mother in that show, and she talked about being interviewed for the audition to get into Smallville, and she mentioned that she was in Superman 3 as Lana Lang, and the person that was interviewing her literally said there was a Superman 3 and they were making a Superman TV show.
Oh God. Yeah, I remember that. The mother from Smallville was Lana Lang in Superman 3.
Yeah, I just think that's hilarious.
There was a Superman 3. There were 4 with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies I have not even dared to try going back to it.
You almost made it. There's not
I
much.
figured.
There's not much more to it after the big computer scene, the cyborg scene. So,
And I don't think it's. I don't think there's an evil Superman. I think Superman is evil. That's what it is, Eric.
okay, fine. Except that
I can't remember if the computer makes him evil or what.
No. All right, I'm gonna tell you now. Okay, so anybody listening, these are Superman 3 spoilers. No, the guy that
You don't have to watch that.
Wait. We're putting up a spoiler
warning.
here.
The guy that Richard Pryor works for is trying to kill Superman, and they try to create this synthetic kryptonite, and they don't get it right. They make this alternate kryptonite, and it turns Superman evil.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you said he's evil, and I said it's an alternate Superman, because the way they resolve it is the Superman splits in two. He becomes good Superman and bad Superman, and they fight each other. And actually, it's not even Superman. It's Clark Kent. It's a good Clark Kent and a bad Clark Kent, and they kind of fight. And actually, that's not even true. It's the bad Superman and a good Clark Kent.
Because that's much less convoluted than just introducing Bizarro.
The point is they split and they fight.
Was Bizarro around though at that point in time?
I don't know. Probably. A lot of Superman stuff was established at that point.
I'm not a Superman, fan to begin with, so I couldn't really tell you.
Well, you do like Batman v Superman. No wonder you don't like him.
Yeah, Superman sucks. So what do you want to say? So
Iron Man sucks.
No, you keep your mouth shut about Iron Man.
Not in either of those Superman
That's
movies.
the password.
What was that from?
Lego Batman.
That's right.
Lego Batman.
That was fantastic. I like that movie.
Bizarro was introduced in 1958, so I think he was around.
Probably.
Superman 3 is like 82 or 83 or 84 or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's literally an evil reverse Superman, and they just didn't even bother.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is fine.
Well, Dick Donner wasn't doing them after that point in time anyway.
No, he got fired from Superman too.
Yeah.
Richard Donner actually ended up writing a Superman story with Jeff Johns later on, and I have that one.
I think I heard Jeff Johns do an interview
or something like that.
I think because I was listening to Jeff Johns in an interview, and I think he was talking about like he got hired to be like his assistant during like the Superman movies or something. So that's how he started to know. I mean, he got hired because I think like Dick Donner was impressed that he knew that much about Superman and everything. And it's a really good interview I think he had with Kevin Smith about it. Now he's the head of DC.
He's not even working on the comic books anymore, at least not regularly. He wrote that Rebirth one shot, and then that was it. It's like, okay, everyone else go.
Well, if he's looking over, they put him in charge of the movies too, so he's got, he gets to oversee everything. But
which is good. Someone that actually knows comic books working on those movies now.
I saw that they announced that they're bringing back the was it Danny Elfman Batman theme now for the movies?
That is fine.
It was basically
that was a good theme.
I mean, I love that theme. I think it's a fantastic theme.
Yeah.
I honestly think they could bring back what's called John Williams' Superman theme too, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I associate when I think of it, basically, I think of Superman, and it's same thing with Batman theme because it was the animated series. You own the rights to these songs. How's they use them?
Yeah.
They're iconic. It's like the Star Wars theme where you associate those tracks.
Yeah, but if you stick those onto a movie that people do not receive in the same positive way, they will get a lot of backlash for perverting the theme song, I would think.
Well, they've used that in some really bad Superman movies too. I mean,
fair enough.
Superman,
Superman
Returns.
I mean, people don't remember that movie either. The guy that played Superman in that movie is literally on a DC TV show as a different character right now. He's playing the Atom.
But he looks exactly like Christopher Reeves. That's why he got hired.
Yeah. Also, something I didn't even think about. What was that with Batman v Superman? What was that movie that Ben Affleck was in? Where was he playing one of the Reeves who had played Superman before?
Yeah, he's playing
biopic kind of
Christopher
movie?
Reeve's dad. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's about that murder or something that's in Hollywood or that one, you know. And I don't know if it was. I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because
but there's
Superman television show, he played Christopher
Yeah.
Reeve in that movie.
yeah, I know I should know that actor's name, but I don't off the
Okay.
top of my head. But yeah, it's just kind of funny now in retrospect, looking at that movie, seeing a guy that played a guy that played Superman fighting the current Superman as Batman. That is a weird meta narrative now that I think about it.
Actors.
I mean, that would imply that movie has any narrative. So
Ben Affleck was on an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't remember that. Where is that movie?
I know I'm the one that brought up Batman v
No.
Superman. I don't want to go on a tangent about it, but I do want to say that I have no issue with the actors that are playing any of the characters in that movie. It's just a terrible use of all of them, in my opinion.
So that
Ben
movie's
Affleck
called,
is almost allowed to be good as Batman.
so that movie's called Hollywoodland, is what that one's called.
Yeah, that's it.
And George Reeves, I guess, was murdered. So I guess
Okay.
that's what I think it was.
Yeah, so that's a funny thing to think about in retrospect. But actually, before getting off that note, I did watch Wonder Woman finally, and that was really good, actually.
Well, with the exception of all the CGI, but
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Yeah, some of the CGI was a little hokey, I'll give you that, but I didn't really mind it.
it just doesn't. I don't think that's going to age well.
Mhm.
I don't know. Just to me, some of the things
Yeah,
that stands out, where it just doesn't look right. It just,
Yeah, the end kind of conflict does look kind of Batman v Superman-ish. Looks kind of similar to that ending just because it's dark and there's a whole bunch of CG and people are jumping all over the place.
it's a good movie, but I also think people have also overrated it, in my opinion, too.
I would kind of agree, but also that does not mean it's bad.
No.
I watched the recent Spider-Man movie last night as well, finally. I was a little behind. And I was surprised to be like, man, Wonder Woman was actually better as a film than this was. I liked both of them. I think they're both really good movies. But I think Wonder Woman surpasses it as just a film. It does kind of jump the shark at the end, I'll grant you. But overall, that's a really good movie.
I'm also a believer of that a good superhero movie is enhanced by its villain, and I don't think Wonder Woman's villain is very, very good.
No, the idea of the villain throughout the majority of the film is better than the actual villain at the end. I'll grant that, but
and it's
fine.
also hard to do. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The difference where Marvel characters are a little bit more grounded to Earth as opposed to DC, which are
literally mythological figures
and gods and whatnot. It's like so it's stuff.
Yeah, it's harder to pull that off without going into hokey territory.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I got my tickets for Thor, so I'm gonna go see Thor tomorrow.
I've heard that's good. I've not seen a lot of reviews for it.
Yeah, I've been staying away from it.
I still wish I hadn't watched that second trailer, but what are you gonna do?
Whatever. I'm sure there's stuff you didn't see in that movie.
Oh yeah, it's just irritating to see that stuff. I didn't have the same. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I watched the second trailer to Black Panther as well.
That trailer was awesome. I like that trailer a lot.
It confused me a little bit because I'm not really that familiar with his mythology.
Nope, me
as
either.
much. But I watched that. I'm like, I feel like I know more than I should, but I don't know what I just watched.
To me, I was like, that looked cool, but
it does. But like,
yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. I just know he's really athletic. Yeah, and he's really rich.
Yeah, but after that first trailer, you just kind of have it's like sold, done. I don't need to watch any more of this. Why did I watch the second trailer to that?
I don't know. I thought the trailer was cool though.
It was cool, but it just showed too much, in my opinion.
Come on, it didn't show Batman versus Superman trailer number 2, where it showed basically the entire story.
Yeah, I mean the movie barely showed an entire story, so.
Well, it gave away like the big twist at the end.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll agree.
That would have been a surprise. I don't think they needed that for that movie. But
Yeah.
it's also trying to play catch up.
I could crap on that movie even more, but I think it's been done. But I
So
do want to.
We all know your feelings about that movie.
Yeah, I do want to say something that I haven't said before. I don't think, in regards to you liking that movie and me not liking it, is I think it's totally fine. I have no issue of you liking that movie. My issue comes from calling it a good movie. What the hell?
Can I say it was entertaining? Hey, Kyle.
Robo Kyle.
Kyle from outer space. And the
Hey guys.
Danger. Yeah, it's fine now. Here you go.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey guys. Whew. Good to see everyone again.
Kyle, you love Spider-Man: Homecoming, don't you?
Yeah, I was.
I believe
I
you
liked
talked
it.
about this in Game Time Arcade.
Yeah, it was a fun Spider-Man movie. I was.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of really good Spider-Man movies when you think about it, but this one I think was the best.
I kind of agree with you on this one. I
Not
know
just
there's
because
probably
Iron Man was in it.
I think there's probably more nostalgia
That'll
for
be
probably the first 2 Spider-Man movies, but
Yeah, I'd have to watch the first two.
Oh, yeah.
They're both weird adaptations in terms of accuracy, but I think the Sam Raimi ones might be better made, like just as films, base level. But yeah, I really liked Homecoming as well. I mentioned earlier on the Hangout that I thought Wonder Woman was a slightly better movie, but that doesn't mean I didn't like Homecoming. I think Spider-Man was just kind of a fun movie without that much substance to it, but that's not a bad thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like just
Sure.
being a fun, entertaining film should not be a negative critique.
I think I have a big gripe, and I don't think this is a spoiler for Wonder Woman, but I think I have a gripe that I think she's either A, the smartest person in the room, or B, the most naive person, and it keeps going back and forth, in my opinion. Because she's not from this world, you know. She's from her
She just
little.
keeps asking questions.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. She's naive to, I guess you'd define it as man's world, just by the lore and all that. But she's naive to how the outside world works in that first movie. But like, there's a lot of time, obviously, that's passed between that and Batman v Superman. So
No, I'm talking about that movie specifically.
In the movie
Times
specifically.
where she's
yeah,
the smartest person, and then she's also the most naive. Where to me, it's like I would rather see the progression from, or we realize this, but she doesn't know it, and you see the transition.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I thought that was actually a good arc for her, just kind of her naive idealism meeting harsh reality and having to come to terms with that. But she is not a stupid person. She's just ignorant to how that world works.
Mm-hmm.
She is very intelligent and well-educated for where she came from. But she has to learn how the outside world outside of Themyscira works when she first encounters it. It's not like she expected at all. So her being smart in several scenarios, like knowing languages when no one else in the room can translate it, that's totally within her character and it makes sense. And not taking anyone's crap based on gender politics of that era when she gets out of that space, that also makes sense for her character. I can totally see where you're coming from with that, but I thought it fit with the narrative.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my little gripes about the movie, and to me it stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Where I would have done it differently.
I thought it fit, but I can see where you're coming from.
So back to child pornography.
No.
No? Oh.
What?
Oh. I'll just say it was a joke about the guy game earlier and leave it at that. Moving on. Who's been playing Mario?
The guy game. Yeah, didn't they have like some teenage girl in there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
she
Yeah.
It's done. It's done.
she had a
No, it's done.
Must have a special stash or something. He doesn't want us to talk
Stop
about
it.
I don't.
It's his Pride Xbox collection game.
He sold it. Must
Nope.
he sold pornography?
Oh dear.
I
Oh,
traded
boy.
it. I traded it. There was no money. No money exchanged hands.
I don't think I was monitoring this conversation, but I was never here. Bye.
It's my step Sony.
You guys are just worried about the FBI. You could have said my friend had a copy of the guy's game. I didn't know. If it's on the memory card in the hard drive, you better delete it.
Anyway, anything else?
Did you guys get your any?
Nope. Go ahead.
No, I was just say, anyone get Star Wars tickets?
No.
Nope.
No. I just looked and it looks like because now there's like no more theaters that you can just show up like an hour before the movie and have your ticket and get a good seat. Around me, they're all assigned seating theaters, which I hate.
Yeah. I
So,
can
like,
go to my theater and just be fine, but that's me.
Yeah, it's just it stinks now. Where it's like, I wish that those days were still here. The last movie I got to see like that was actually Wonder Woman. After that, theater became budget. Now I have to do assigned seating theaters.
I think a lot of people just want to see these movies right away to avoid spoilers, which is unfortunate.
That's my exact reason. I'm afraid of someone putting something out on Twitter or accidentally clicking.
Oh my god, I can't believe Ray killed Luke.
Man, IGN is like always like notorious for saying like the 15 things we liked about Stranger Things, basically. And it's like, oh, I have to like tiptoe around your website now. And
yeah, I'm still trying to hide from stuff until I can get through the last couple episodes.
I still haven't even finished season 1 of that. I really need to get on that.
I finished it last night. I decided I was gonna just finish it last night because it's Halloween's.
Okay, well, thanks for the spoiler that it can be finished.
Yeah.
What? There's an ending to it?
There's an ending? Thanks for spoiling it.
Did I tell you how many episodes are in
Somebody,
season 2?
GameStop or somebody, GameSpot, some a-hole tweeted out a spoiler that I happened to catch. Generally speaking, though, I do not want to talk about Stranger Things to avoid any spoilers.
Yeah.
And I just started watching the second season. Spoiler, shit. Sorry, there's 2 seasons. Oops.
And there's 9 episodes. Spoilers.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're still watching it. Sounds like a bunch of us are still watching it, so let's move on.
Correct.
I wonder how
dropping
far.
some S-bombs.
Yeah, sorry. Apologies.
That's all good.
I
Two
wonder how
dogs
much
after
further,
dark.
I wonder how much further P2's spoiler definitions need to go before he just swears to a vow of silence, because the mere act of speaking is a spoiler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Many years ago, we were watching Lost, which was another show that you wouldn't want a lot of spoilers in, and we were way behind on it, and we were with somebody who says, "Oh yeah, I remember her,"
Oh yeah.
which is a spoiler because what do you mean you remember her? What does that mean? It means she must not be on the show anymore. So yeah, there are some shows that I agree with P2 in some ways. There are some comments that you can make that, in Game of Thrones is another one. Saying anything can reveal all kinds of possibilities that can now no longer be true. It's not a positive spoiler in that sense. It's like a negative spoiler. It eliminates possibilities, not confirms them. Anyway.
Yeah, I had a situation of that where I finally started playing Uncharted 4 the other day. Because I'm like, this is ridiculous. I need to get to this damn thing.
Okay, not all of us have played that.
Huh?
Not all of us have played that either.
Yeah, I'm not
go
saying anything, but
okay, go ahead.
Now that there is another game out, I was trying to find something about. There's areas in the first part of the game where you can look at artifacts from the previous games a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And it hints to one where I don't remember what it's referring to. So I was going through the game list on Wikipedia trying to find which one it's referring to. I still couldn't do that. But I ended up looking at a little bit of a synopsis for Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was a mistake because I found out something about something in that game that eliminates a possibility for any theories I had for 4.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Oh,
That sucks.
I hear you. I hear you.
yeah, I don't know how that
I
game
know what
ends,
you. I know what you mean.
but there is a character in it. I will say
Yeah.
that is as far as specifics as I'll go, which is why I'm weirdly phrasing that, because that's one
Thank
of those
you.
things that's hard to
I follow
say
you.
without just going completely into
Okay.
subjective territory. Anyway,
I hear you.
yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, okay. That possibility is off the table. Anyway, here. There we go.
How's people who are playing Mario? How are you enjoying it?
I love it, but I'm just trying
Really
to.
good.
Before I dive back into it, I want to finish like the games that I was starting. So I know I'm over halfway done with Onimusha, so I want to just get that done so I can just focus back on Mario.
Yeah.
Does anybody here not have Mario?
I was going to ask the same question
Oh,
because
Kyle.
darn.
pre-order mistakes.
Yeah, I don't have. I didn't get the Switch yet. I'm probably looking to get one for the holiday though. This
Okay,
was
so
the
you don't
game
have a
that
Switch
made me
either.
want to get it. No,
Yeah.
but this is
It's
the
Mario.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
this and Splatoon are the.
Don't get Splatoon because everybody's trading them in.
I
Oh,
traded my copy.
I mean, not really, Kyle. I mean, you can, but a lot of the Cartridge Club members are trading them in.
Why though?
They're not playing them.
it was
Yeah,
a
the last-
phase like Overwatch, I guess.
That.
Yeah.
Overwatch is not a phase.
I hear they're tweaking Mercy again.
Yeah, I didn't watch the summary.
Okay, that's all I'll say about it.
And Anna's getting
And Anna, Anna and Mercy, yeah. All right. Anyway, Kyle, just an FYI, some of the Cartridge Club members are moving on from Splatoon 2.
I still haven't done yet.
Yeah.
I still think it could be fun to play though. I
Oh yeah.
enjoyed the first.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. There's no
I
doubt.
was
still
working
check
on
it
the
out.
campaign. I'm still working on the campaign for it, but
I still haven't even started that, but I want to.
that's unlike any other game. At least you can play the campaign and everything. But
Yeah,
That's
back
true.
to Mario for half a second. I do have an extra copy because Amazon hates me. So I have a window available to return this, but I want to see if anyone's interested in doing a trade for it instead that may not have been able to swing getting the game. Maybe they have stuff to trade. That might be a better deal for somebody.
Sorry, I
Okay.
missed that. You got 2 copies of it?
Yeah, Amazon had my pre-order at least a week in advance, and I wasn't seeing a delivery date as of last Wednesday, I guess. And the option for 2-day shipping wasn't appearing on my Prime. So I messaged support and said, I just want to see if there's any errors happening, because I had this happen before with a previous pre-order, Splatoon 2. And I said, I want to make sure this is arriving Friday. And they said, it should arrive on Friday. There should be no issue with that. Doesn't ship
Lots of shoulds.
until later on the Friday, but not at my house. What happened, though, was I said, screw it, this isn't arriving. I'm just going to go see if I can find a copy and then cancel it when I get home if I do. I went to Walmart, got a copy, get home to see the notification that this had shipped. So I had to wait until Tuesday to get it and then return it. But I'm like, someone might not have been able to swing buying it, so I'll just float that out there to see if anyone's interested in doing a trade for it before I return it.
Okay.
Has it been a tricky game to find for anyone?
No, I just thought the off chance that it was hard to find that day.
Yeah, I went Saturday. And got a copy for myself from GameStop. They had plenty.
Oh yeah, there were a ton, but I just figured on the off chance I'm going to keep that pre-order until I get home. So of course it shipped in that time. Yay!
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's
course.
bad timing there.
Yeah,
No, I could have saved 20% if I would have just admitted to myself that there was no reason for me not to pick that game up on day one. But
Yeah. Even I caved and pre-ordered it for the 20%. And actually, it's I'm getting another $10 with Best Buy for the pre-order bonus. Excuse me.
I wish Amazon still did 20% off on pre-orders. It's 10% now.
Oh, it's only 10 now?
Yeah,
And there's no post-launch day
I don't think so.
anymore. That went away.
Mm.
Seems a little less worth it.
Yeah, the extra kicker is that my Prime renewed the same day that shipped without me wanting it to. So, double $80 charge. I'll probably
Anyone-
Rough day for Fitnet.
But
Is
as
anyone-
you'll see in my pickups, it didn't stop me from using Amazon for any length of time.
The GameStop rental
Now,
thing.
what are you doing?
Hmm?
Yeah, you're like broadcasting from your closet or something?
Who?
You.
Me? No,
Yeah.
I'm in the third bedroom / office.
Oh.
I'm gonna move back downstairs. I was tinkering with some stuff for tomorrow, so that I don't have to do it all after this is over, or super early in the morning.
It's where he has his third breakfast.
Yes. Yep. Yep, you're not wrong.
Oh,
I'm trying out
sneak preview.
some actual editing software for once.
So would that be a spoiler or?
Oh, what?
Is that a spoiler? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would classify that as a teaser.
Yeah, there you
Teaser.
go.
There we go.
That's a
That's
teaser, not a yeah. I like
there we
that.
go.
I like that.
Anyway,
We got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
since I talked about that Mario thing already, should we just go into pickups?
Sure. I'm fine with that.
Just about an hour and a half.
Does anyone have like amazing pickups? Because if not, then I'm just gonna go first.
Yeah, I want to see your thing you teased the other day.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is not the thing, but actually, give me 1 second because I gotta grab it. But it's
Are you
like-
gonna show that off, or you want to wait for the video?
No, it's fine. I don't care. Nobody watches this anyways, except for
I'll
Derek.
watch.
Hey Derek.
Okay, there's 4 viewers. Derek has 4 computers all watching it simultaneously.
Hey Derek's.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, so gonna present me.
Yep. I had you
Thank you,
presented,
sir.
but then you left.
Yeah. Some guy on Facebook was unloading these for like $5 each, but apparently they were at like a dollar store kind of thing in town. And they were charging $4, so he paid $4 in tax, which is like $4 something, and he was just basically buying them to recycle back into the community. So he bought like a whole bunch of them,
Wow.
and he was just selling them off for $5, which is really nice of him to do.
Yeah.
So, brand new, pretty cool.
We got ours for 12.
Better
at
than
Target.
better than Melissa's deal she found.
I was gonna buy 2 just to have a spare guitar.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, I didn't want to, because the guy was sort of like giving out to people in the community. I didn't really want to say like, I'll take all of them or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
And then, and this is the one from the Durham swap. So I went to the Durham swap and looked around, and it was super packed in there, and I couldn't barely move. But I saw this game actually 3 times at the show. One vendor had 2 copies of it. This other girl had one, but she only wanted to do cash. So I traded off, like probably more value-wise for this game. I traded off more because there's like a bunch of Pokemon games and stuff like that. But to me, I'm like, well, I got like all those Pokemon games for like probably $5 or under each. So I didn't think of it too bad. And the guy gave me $10 back after all of that. So that seemed pretty decent.
Really?
Yeah, because I was going to go for the deal because it was like kind of overkill on his side. But then he's like, I'll give you $10 too. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, so basically I spent $10 on this, like from the way I looked at it, right? When I did the math on it.
Wow.
And I picked up a copy of
What is it?
Intelligent Cube on the PlayStation.
Oh.
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this was like a game that was on my wish list for like big time, basically. So, yeah, I'm super pumped to get that in my collection because this is one that I absolutely wanted. Like, if you haven't played this game, it's fun, man. This is a great puzzle game.
Yeah,
Wow.
didn't they have sequels to that on the PSP?
Yeah, I heard it was trash though.
Yeah, that's where
I don't know. I never played it, but this one here is this is an amazing game. It was one of the early PlayStation games, so I don't think it got like a lot of hype around it. I think there's other stuff coming out that
yeah, it's very rarely mentioned.
And but if you haven't played it, I mean, even if you can't find a copy because it's kind of pricey, but if you can't find a copy, just download an emulator and play it. It's fun, so good. And that's everything I got. So I haven't got very much lately.
Nice.
Yeah,
Big one. So
Yeah.
I only have a few items, but some of them aren't video games. So should I just get my stuff out of the way?
Okay. Sure. Go for it.
Okay, so obviously both copies of Mario. We'll see how that wraps up in the next few weeks. I also got Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle because that was a deal of the day on Amazon, which was fairly surprising.
Oh, nice.
I
think I looked it up in the U.S. that day when you did that, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
nearly
they
as
don't
good.
share deals of the day. Regions, unfortunately.
Is that supposed to be a pretty decent game, or?
Yeah, it depends on if you're into that style or not. I think. Because I don't think Ryan likes it very much from what I've seen him say about it.
I have no interest in playing it. I don't like the Rabbids characters as a video game character.
Yeah, but I was curious enough to try it for how much they had it off. So there was that. Anyway, I also got the newest Star Wars book, obviously, Legends of Luke Skywalker. Which should be interesting. Kind of an interesting design on this. No dust cover or anything. But this is a little bit earlier pickup, but
that thing is thick.
The deluxe edition of Superman Rebirth, Volume 1, which is the first 2 trade paperback volumes in a hardcover. But looking forward to reading this. I've actually really liked what I've read of the Superman comics from this era so far. But the last thing I got was Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, which, if anyone's gone on the forums, Caleb is trying to start up, I guess, a actual video game book club.
Oh, is that what that is? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is the book. So I was leaning towards reading this anyway, so I figured I'd just pick it up. Now I just need to remember my password for the forum so I can log in and discuss it. Anyway,
Bookcast coming up.
Yeah. There you go. That's not a bad idea.
Let's see if there's an audiobook version of that.
I don't know, but there is a Kindle version if you want to get it a couple bucks cheaper.
How do you spell Pirate Bay?
You guys.
Okay, anyone want to go next?
Nobody was going to. I guess I can go.
Ryan does, yeah.
Give me just a second. I'm almost resituated.
There we go.
So I picked this up today, actually, on my lunch break, because I saw GameStop has a deal going on, and there's not a GameStop close to me anymore by my work. Well, there is, but I would have to go inside a mall, and I don't want to do that. But Best Buy does price match, and they have a year subscription on sale right now. It's $20 off at GameStop. So I just went there. I brought, even though their website says digital code. Well, this is a digital code, I guess, on the other side. Granted, it's you have to scratch it off and whatnot, but I went there and I showed him. The guy's like, "Yeah, here you go." So I got it at the price that their GameStop's got going on right now.
Is it only PSN, or are they doing Xbox Live also?
It's only a PlayStation Network right now. So, and then I figure I could use one because this is the price I believe that I bought Xbox Live for on Black Friday last year. So I don't know if the prices are going to be really hot like they were the first year PlayStation Plus came out.
What was the price? What is it? What is the sale price?
It's $40.
$40 for a year.
44 years.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay.
It's 60 normally. 60 normally. So
yeah, that's the same with Live. Okay.
Get the good games today. Oh nope, that would have been gone. Never mind. Now you can look forward to playing Bound and Worms Battlegrounds or whatever the hell it was.
Well, I might hold off until when I really need to. I'm hoping actually I might not use it until Black Friday. So that way when that expires, then maybe I can get another deal on PlayStation Network next year or something.
That'll work.
PlayStation's been kind of knocking them out lately, though. Metal Gear and Until Dawn. What else was there? Gear. Yeah, they've had.
When PlayStation Plus first came out, when they started charging, I remember that Black Friday, the first year, they were you can get it for $25 for a year. I should have snagged up as many years as possible for that. Kicking myself for that one. So I had some stuff come in from Japan. I ordered some stuff from online, and I bought a Saturn controller adapter for the Dreamcast. So it came in today. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet because it came in today, but I'll get back and let you know if it's any good. This one I made a mistake on purchasing. This one, I meant to order. I'll show it first. It's Biohazard. What's it called?
Revival Selection.
Yeah, so it's got Code Veronica and 4 remastered on here for the PS3. I wanted the Chronicles is the one I wanted to order. I completely brain farted and didn't order the correct game. So I'm probably just put this back up for sale because Chronicles is the Unreal shooter version.
They don't have a return policy?
This is I bought it on eBay, so
okay.
I don't think they're gonna take it back all the way back in Japan. So I'll probably just sell it on eBay just to get the money and then buy Chronicles again.
How do you play that?
It plays in your PS3. It's region free.
The PS3 is region free?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay.
So I will.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is the more modern consoles, are they as well? PS4
and Xbox One.
Yeah.
They're region free too? Okay. Oh, that's good.
PS4 is, yeah.
Is that right?
Well,
I'll be damned.
Hey, wow, they're actually making a good decision for modern consoles. Amazing.
So, well, a lot of times too with these, especially with the PS4, if it was digitally only in the United States, and you buy, let's say, the Japanese version, it recognizes it when you put the disc in your console. It recognizes it and plays it as the English version that's only digital on the network. So, and then I got Vampire, which is Darkstalkers 2 and 3 remastered for the PS3. This was only digital only in the US, physical copy of Japan. Everything is in English in this game, with the exception of the cutscenes in between fights. That still is in Japanese text. But otherwise, it's completely playable. Like I said, every menu is in English. So it's. I played this the other day. It's pretty good.
English subtitles. The cutscene.
I looked. I couldn't. There's no language option, so that's the only difference. So digital in the US, but like I said, everything else in the game. So if you want to change your settings in the menus, the only thing there's no language option. So, oh well. But like I said, it plays great. I was using my fight stick, so I was very happy about it.
Good old Darkstalkers.
Yep. I saw Josh Frantic actually posted something about this being back in stock at Best Buy on Friday, so I picked it up, which is the Majora's Mask amiibo. See, my amiibo is nicely sealed.
I grabbed one of those too.
Nicely sealed. It will remain in its nice home. And then, first, like everybody, I picked up Mario. I went Thursday night last week. I was out the door at 11. I was also one of the few people that did not bring their Switch to Best Buy. So, because they would not let you walk out the door. So, like, you could buy it at 10:30, but you couldn't leave the door until 11. So people were there. I was there about quarter to 11, and then so I walked in. I was fortunate. I got the coin. The one thing that's why I left for a minute. I couldn't find the coin anywhere. So, but I did get the coin, but I just can't find it right now. I got the poster, and it has like
cool.
So I got this poster.
That's fun.
Of course, got the game. Got the strategy guide because I love me some strategy guides. The hardcover version, of course. And then I picked up the amiibos, which at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And of course, the guy right in front of me when I was waiting in line grabbed the last 3 packs. So that's the one I wanted to get. But they still had a few loose ones left. So I grabbed your Bowser.
Individual, not loose.
Yeah, well, good point. Bowser. I got Mario, as some people like to say it.
Some people are wrong.
He's looking fancy.
Looking quite fancy. And then I apparently Peach is hard to find. So
I can't imagine why.
at this time, Peach is hard to find. So the guy even told me, he goes, I only got a couple of Peaches. So he goes, but he goes, Mario's, we got the wazoo, but Peaches, I don't have many. So he goes, you're lucked out on that one. So
I can't imagine why that and the Princess Zelda amiibos from the Breath of the Wild were hard to find.
But yeah, that's it. That's what I got this week.
Okay.
She doesn't have the piranha plant bouquet.
Nope, she's just going.
Or not. Yeah.
Or she's saying it's this big.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll go quickly if that's okay. Like Ryan, I got. I'm not going to show. I'm very awful at show and tell. I got the Majora's Mask. Refer to Ryan's amiibo, and we got Odyssey also. And I happen to have this in front of me. This is what arrived from Target. I waited to the buy two get one free deal and lucked out that they had all three. So I'm showing Princess Peach. You'll have to trust that I've got the other two, but they smashed them in the box. This is actually the worst one. It's really creased right here, and maybe you can see that line there. Anyway, so yeah, we got Odyssey, and I wasn't going to get the amiibo, but so many people were talking about it, and they were available on Sunday night or late Saturday night for the Target thing. So I went ahead and grabbed them. Is that it? I think that's it we had PRGE, so in the last week we haven't bought much. So yeah, Odyssey, like everybody else.
Yeah. Musty, do you have stuff?
Yeah,
or
I can go.
Okay.
Go. So, so I wasn't going to pick up anything on Friday. Not out of resistance, but just, I don't know. And then I decided Saturday, I saw that GameStop had a crazy good trade deal, and some of their original Xbox games have spiked in trade value. So if you have Crimson Skies right now, they're with the deal that I had. I got like $8 or $9 for it in trade credit. KOTOR, which was something I found this for in store for a pro member is like $8 in trade credit. If you're an elite member, you get another 10% on top of that. But I paid $3.88 for it, so I will get almost $8 next time I go into GameStop. If there's another deal where I get another 40% on top of that, then I'll just keep tacking on money, which is kind of what I did for these two. So I got Wolfenstein 2 and Mario Odyssey. Took advantage of good trade deals there. So then, that copy of Knights of the Old Republic I picked up today, and I had stopped at Goodwill. That one was $3.88. These other three I got for under $2 each. Two of them were GameCube. I got Shrek 2. I get $2. $2 complete for a GameCube game. I've not.
Those GameCube games are.
Yeah, and then this is actually a double. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This one does not have the manual, but $1.88. And then I picked this up because again it was $1.88, and the disc was flawless. Tiger Woods 07. Which is one that I don't know if that's the last. I don't know if that's the last Tiger Woods on the original Xbox or not, but it was in fantastic shape. Case is really good. Still has the Tiger Woods hologram on it.
It's almost as if it was never played.
That could be. So for $1.88, I'll take it. But yeah, that was it. That's it for me.
Okay. I'm going to switch back to myself for
solid.
half a second because I forgot that I also got just another non-video game pickup, but I got the Hot Wheels TIE Interceptor.
Yes.
It's my equivalent of the Amiibo addictions, but I can get like 3 of these for 1 Amiibo. So that's the thing.
Cool.
and they look just as cool.
Yeah, they're actually awesome. But much better stands than what the original ones came with, because they have like this weird finger flight thing, but this is an actual stand. So that's much preferred. Anyway, Kyle, do you have anything?
Sweet. Like always, I never think about bringing any games. I got stuff from Haji. I did a video on it, just kind of promoted his Warp Zone. So you can refer to that video. One of them was that Mario RPG for Super Nintendo, which I had back in the day. But
does he do free shipping over 60 to the States?
I think there was.
He didn't seem to.
Not from mine. It's still paid for shipping, but he gave me a few dollars off. So
cool.
How much is it for free shipping?
It was nice to have. That'd be. It was nice to have Mario RPG back. The only other thing I actually have within arm's reach, I have the case for it. Just happens to be in the Vita here. Was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh, snap!
For the Vita, which is very faithful to its console counterpart.
Yeah.
Man, now I need to get a Vita.
Oh yeah,
Oh, dude, that's why I'm chuckling. Yeah.
I didn't know that was actually a port on there. So I know Darkstalkers 3, I think, has a port on there.
Hmm.
You can just say what else you got if you wanted to mention the stuff. It doesn't really matter.
It's better to show.
Yeah, it's show and tell.
Yeah.
Oh, again, you can refer to my. I did like a Warp Zone shout out. So it's just like Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, I forgot I picked up a Chippendales 2. It's over there somewhere. You know, I gotta find it. I got Flintstones Dinosaur Peak.
What is this? A pickup so it didn't happen?
Yeah, he's trying to say you got to show it or it didn't happen.
Okay. So basically, just plug your video that you made. I guess
everyone can go to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, Kyle. I almost never show pickups because it's like, go watch my videos. Come on, I'm trying to make a living here.
Go watch them. Yeah, I need that 1 penny for each video that we get.
I don't think. Yeah, I've monetized my stuff, but I think YouTube is laughing at me every time I try to look up how much I've made.
Yeah,
it's zero. You've made zero.
If that's it for pickups, I'll be back.
You owe Google.
You owe us. You owe us. You're wasting our resources. Yeah, I'll be right back to it. I want to grab something.
I was gonna say when I was there at Best Buy waiting to leave. Well, first I was avoiding because I didn't want to see all these jabronis with their switches. I didn't want to see what was going on their screen. I wanted the fresh experience. So I had to turn around. But everybody looked there because 3 games releasing that night. There was Mario, there was Wolfenstein 2, and then there's the new Assassin's Creed. And I can say that I didn't see anyone there specifically. I didn't see one person buy Assassin's Creed. You could see the stacks of all the pre-orders behind the register, and there was probably only about 8 Assassin's Creeds there behind the counter. The rest
that's oversaturated. That franchise, not Mario.
Well, yeah, but like everyone was there for either Mario and Wolfenstein. I didn't see one person there for just Wolfenstein. There was posters given away for Wolfenstein too, that they had kind of like for the Mario ones. I just found that interesting. Cool. That I mean, I imagine the people who were just for Wolfenstein probably coming the next day didn't realize that there was a midnight launch. But almost everyone was there.
Care that there was a midnight launch.
Yeah, that's true. But it was just interesting. I think what's called. Like I was just looking around, what everyone's purchasing, watching. I didn't see one person there for Assassin's Creed.
On the off chance that those are all sold out.
Yeah. Well, I also didn't see, and I'm not taking a shot at Musty here, but I didn't see many like Xbox pre-orders for Wolfenstein either. It was really majority PS4, Wolfenstein 2, or Odyssey. It's because, like I said, you could see behind the counter all the ones laid out for pre-orders and what they had, what you can pick up. So I don't know if that's just a sign of the times. And I almost kind of wondering too, and this relates to like the Xbox One X. do you think the damage is still done with with Xbox? Like, do you think it can be salvaged? With this.
What do you mean? So, are you talking about launch issues and perceptions of day one?
I think it's. I'm just saying what's it called, because competition is good
if
for.
you really look at console numbers to this point,
Mhm.
the Xbox One is not failing. The PS4 is just killing it.
Yeah, that's kind of what the thing is.
So I looked at some numbers. Like that's like 62 million PlayStation 4s right now, and 35 million Xbox Ones. Which, I mean, that's excellent. I think they said that they sold over the last 12 months they sold 5.5 million Xbox Ones, which is I think a great year for any console. It's just overshadowed.
That's good news for me. I'll find them littering thrift shops eventually.
What's that?
So it's good news for me. I'll find them littering the thrift shops eventually. You won't be able to walk in within a second on one.
Your PS4s will be in Wii type quantities within another year or two.
Cool.
Potentially, if they keep growing. Now the thing is, they're not going to put out another iteration. And the original model is all but phased out. So you have your Slims and you have your Pro, and as what'll probably end up happening is they'll do some more special edition consoles, and then that'll sort of get people to let go of the base model, and then your base model Pro. Feels weird to call it that because really all it is a different shell. I'm really liking my Pro though, and it plays Wolfenstein fantastically. Controller is still not perfect for me though. Well,
you're not pro gamer, so what are you gonna say?
But the console,
get an adapter.
The console says I'm a pro. It says pro right there.
He's a PS4 Pro.
That's right. I am a PS4 Pro. What kind of PS4 person are you? Slim.
I'm looking in.
Here's a triple bigger PlayStation.
So, I really wish there was a better trade-in value, because honestly, there was probably a really good trade-in value for. I have an original Xbox 1 terabyte, and the best I see right now for it is $85 credit. To me, that isn't worth it. If there was,
that's a tough sell. You might as well just spend the 85, right?
Yeah,
if you were going to
happier, I'd be probably happier keeping it, right, and playing the same exact games for the Xbox One on my basic television.
That system you have there probably has more storage in it than all of the consoles in my game room.
And it's still not enough.
1 terabyte.
It's still not enough space.
No.
I will say this though, with Xbox, I'm obviously a PlayStation guy, but I like where the Xbox One's going with a lot of their backwards compatibility. I think they're on top of their game right now.
Mm-hmm.
And even I'm playing my Xbox One a lot more lately. So
yeah, there's been a lot of good consumer and developer news lately. Over the last 2 weeks, I know that they've been obviously this week Paris Games Week kind of takes the main headlines, but they talked about there are 4 360 games that are getting Xbox One X enhancements, which is that's really cool. Fallout 3 is one of them, and Halo 3 is another one.
Enhancements?
Can't remember the other two.
Because I have it. I have Fallout 3. Is it? You mean 4K enhancements for the Scorpio, or
just I don't know if it's texture improvements or what.
Okay. Because originally I've tried it out originally on the old Xbone, because I have Fallout 3 for the old 360.
Maybe you put in the 360 game and you just get the remastered version from the Halo Master Chief Collection, but with enhancements to that. I can't imagine them doing it any other way than that. Or they just had the
So here it
resources
is.
for that.
I have the article pulled up. So Halo 3, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Fallout 3, and Assassin's Creed, the original one.
Which Halo did you say?
Halo 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
So these titles will be expanded to have 10-bit color depth, as previously they were restricted to 8-bit, and they'll have 9 times the on-screen pixels. So they will be running in a higher resolution.
Oblivion definitely needs that.
Our Xbox expert must have it.
Yeah, well, just like a lot of the other Xbox experts on YouTube, I'm just regurgitating stuff I read off of IGN.
No.
It's
We
good
need
to know.
we need to make you like a segment basically where you have like some kind of suit or make you look professional, like a doctor suit, and call you like the professional or something. Like professional.
But yeah, I mean, so there's this thing. There's backwards compatibility program. I think it's just smart, and I really like what they're doing with it. And the fact that team is doing this out of effectively a labor of love is fantastic. They don't have to do this. They could very easily just repurpose those people and put them somewhere else. But there was that. There was another article I read about accessibility program, which they're like building custom peripherals for people with handicaps, like allowing people who paraplegics to play without, somebody who doesn't have a second arm, can still play, or somebody who doesn't have arms at all can still play a game. Some interesting stuff.
And they'll tap
Yeah,
any
that's
market.
cool.
What?
What's
I'm
that?
kidding. I was saying they'll tap any market, anything to make a buck. Jerks.
Oh, ouch.
Of course, the cynical outlook for why they're going so hard on backwards compatibility is because they have no real big exclusives coming out. So it adds more to their catalog by going backwards rather than releasing new titles.
Yeah.
But that's the cynical outlook.
Yeah.
It's great either way. But it could be a good business decision for that reason as well.
I mean, Ninja Gaiden Black looks amazing. Crimson Skies, I think, looks amazing. It's and these are subtly, without attaching money to them, these feel like remasters. Just say, like,
Yeah. I would be curious to see how Ninja Gaiden Black compares to the Sigma version on PS3 or anything else. It's probably a little higher resolution, but maybe not as remastered in terms of texture, stuff like that.
Was
And
Sigma
you're rubbing something on your microphone or something.
Yeah, Sigma was their copy of, or their edition of Ninja Gaiden Black, I think.
Yeah. That's what I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
Yeah, they took that and they remastered it for PS3 or something.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, and
I look forward to playing Black on Xbox One. That's one I never finished. So.
Yeah, I got really
sorry.
far on that before, but it's fine. But I played a little bit of that. I can't really get back into that game. It looks
a gun
really good.
game with
but,
no blood.
the controls are just a little bit odd, maybe. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I think Crimson Skies is the only one that I haven't actually tried, though.
That's great, and they don't take up much space on the hard drive by comparison. Obviously, because Fusion Frenzy is like a 1.8 gigabyte game.
Yeah, relatively speaking, they're fairly small.
Yeah,
so I think the largest one is probably KOTOR with 6 something gigs. But that makes sense.
Yeah, of the ones that I have and installed, that was the one. But it's great. I mean, I think that, yes, they got put in a precarious situation by management who did a lousy job of stating their position. and I feel like if the reins had never been in Don Matrick's hands, I think that things may be a little bit closer. I think that maybe they, it's funny if you look back at the original Xbox, 2001, that generation, all three systems, none of them were trying to be an all-in-one solution, right? They all played games. Some of them played music because they had a CD player built into it, but none of them were trying to be anything more than that primarily, other than the cheapest DVD player you could find out there.
Yeah.
And so, we've gotten to this point, and then, 360 did it, and PS3 was doing some of that too, and now we're, it was inevitable that one of the companies decided to pivot so hard on other media and making this thing your set-top box instead of just being a games machine, and now they've course corrected. Like, nobody talks about the HDMI pass-through anymore.
I used that for Chromecast for a while.
Did
Not
you?
gonna lie. Yeah, it worked. It was just a pain to have to turn another thing on.
Mm-hmm. I thought about feeding. At
Yeah.
one point, I had my 360 fed through that.
It
'Cause
saves
then
an
I could-
HDMI port on your TV.
Yeah, that's true. But it was nice because then I could like watch TV and snap the 360 footage into the smaller window, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Problem is that now I think they've eliminated the snap function altogether because it's a huge CPU sink.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gone. But I never used it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a good feature.
That's why I wouldn't try doing it.
I liked the Kinect for what it was doing. So I know a lot of people despise that thing. I know that VG Collectaholic was pretty strong about his wording of Kinect and motion gaming in general, but
If that was on the latest episode, spoilers, I'm listening to it currently.
that's okay. I won't tell you what he said, but
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I'm mostly joking.
He hated it so much that he pre-ordered the Scorpio edition today.
yeah, must be nice.
Must be nice, right? That's what
Yeah.
favorite saying. Must be nice.
But yeah, I'm proud of, a company like Microsoft, which I never been a huge fan of, but I like what they're doing, and good for them.
No, I like
They
Phil
had a
Spencer a lot.
Big asshole to dig out of, so
I'm not the
they're
biggest
doing
fan
good.
of Major Nelson, but I do like Phil Spencer.
Major Nelson's fine.
Don't really care for the guy.
Was Kevin Butler trying to be was he like the caricature of Major Nelson?
I didn't know of Major Nelson until after Kevin was gone. But I loved Kevin as a character.
Yeah.
Those commercials were fantastic.
I actually did play a match of one of the Halo games with Major Nelson at one point. Just because I just noticed in the party lobby, it's like, oh, that's Major Nelson. That's random.
Yeah. No, when the
That's cool.
Xbox One came out, I started following all of because before that you couldn't just follow somebody. Now they had the follow system where it's like if I wanted to see what all these people from the Xbox marketing team are doing, I could figure that out, and slowly over time I've phased them out because it's really not. I don't know.
Didn't someone on Microsoft's team, or is it fake news, that said this was the last console generation? Didn't he say this week?
At one point, the terminology they used was gaming beyond generations to kind of be like there's not going to be, because here's
I always say,
okay. Let's
I always say before you lay out the story, I'm just gonna say saw it in quotations on Twitter.
Not a story.
Just saying, saw in quotations. That's why I ask, and I figured.
I have a question I
Xbox
want to ask.
expert
I have a question I want to ask. Question I want to ask to everybody. How do you make a PS5 or because everyone likes to make this joke, an Xbox 2? How do you make those? How do you make those different? How do you make such a generational leap with that?
Knowing PlayStation, it will be whatever's the hottest thing, and they will copy it and make it more powerful and put it out there.
So do you think that they will have a Switch-esque?
That is the PlayStation 5. I'm like 90% confident that's what the PlayStation 5 will be. It will be a portable station you can take with you, and because I think they realize that it's, how the Switch works for Japan, why it's absolutely killing in Japan and works in the United States. Because Japan, they like their portable gaming. The traditional houses only have one television, and a family usually shares a television. So if someone wants to play a game, they have to wait till they have their turn before they can play it. Well, with the Switch, you can play it with you as you go. So I'm almost confident that you've heard of the rumors too of them having like blueprints for some kind of Switch-esque design console. I guarantee they're like trying to test something out to see if something works. Where the PlayStation 5 in 3 years will be a 4K capable, Switch.
Yeah, I can see them doing something similar to the Switch, but more powerful, obviously. They couldn't make it any less powerful than the PlayStation 4 Basic. And
you never know with how these processors are changing.
They could, but they couldn't do that without people being angry that there isn't as much of a generational leap. But graphically, but I could see them releasing something where it's that, but it's got the dock, and what the dock does is it has extra bits in it to basically make it up to a PS4 Pro, but maybe a little better. It's basically just an extra processing station where you put it in there and it boosts everything.
So you'd have your like a PS4 Slim that's your handheld.
Yeah, you get like 1080p on the go, and then 4K dock.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, because most portables aren't going to need to pack that many pixels, right?
No.
Screens just aren't big enough to accommodate that. Yeah.
And having that dock power is a great way to offload the cost of the portable itself.
I almost think, though, too, there's going to be another revision of the PlayStation 4 Pro, which will be like on par spec-wise with like the Scorpio. And I'm still calling it the Scorpio because I think that's such a better name.
Yeah,
it is.
But, I honestly think there will be one more revision of that, and then you will have the PlayStation 5, which will be that of what we just spoke of, the Switch.
Yeah. Well, and if they phase the Vita, the Vita is effectively done, right?
Mm-hmm. Like that was phased out soon after it came out. Yeah. It has never really been a thing, other than in.
I love you, Vita.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad system. I'm saying as far as how they
pay attention
to
them.
They supported it.
Don't listen to them, Vita.
Don't listen to it. It's good. It's fun.
Don't listen to the bad men, Vita.
No, I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be very tablet. Sony already does with their Xperia tablets. I think the last one they did was like a 2K tablet. So I don't think they make any tablets here in the last year or two, but I could see that might essentially being a thing. But controller, though, what would you use? Would you be like a Vita controller?
I imagine there will be something like, I bet you it will be built just like a Vita, but you just slide it into a dock. Like you won't have the detachable because I think if anything, they'll just have a controller very similar to the PS4 Pro, or just the PS4 controller, very similar to that you can pick up. They'll be synced with your dock or your whatever.
Yeah, because there's no reason.
They'll call it PS5 because they don't want to call it Vita 2.
Mm-hmm.
Or what they could do, which would effectively feed into nostalgia in a way, they could call it the PlayStation Xperia and have it kind of tied in. That would be a little bit of an odd name. But what I'm saying with nostalgia there is they could then have the shorthand version of that console name be the PSX.
Oh,
I still think they'd just go 5. I think they've kind of established the number system.
Yeah, But I mean, like for a handheld
Could switch
alternative,
it up.
yeah,
I could
I
see him
actually like your
doing
idea.
I could
Yeah,
see them
that-
just doing like throwback color console designs,
Yeah.
like a PS1.
yeah, and they could try and have it kind of like a standalone tablet that also plays games system, and maybe they'll sell it on its own as a portable system, but then also sell a dock separately that you can buy to power your system up. Because otherwise, they're going to have to sell it for $600-$700 out of the box to include that extra.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So if people want,
It's a way for them to cut. It's a way for them to cut cost for the people. Well, because now all these numbers are coming out saying that Switches are being used more as portables than they are as home consoles. So
Good old Switch.
if you
That will
can
be
shave,
idea.
okay,
if you can shave $70 off of the price tag by not including a dock, but then allowing
yeah, that makes sense. And it'll be way more than $70 to buy that dock separately, because I don't think they will go any other way than having a 4K boost dock with extra RAM and stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
Because they can't go backwards graphically. It just will not be acceptable to people.
Well, yeah, and they'd
From a
almost
marketing
have to do the
standpoint.
dock and the controller
Mhm.
As a bundle,
Yeah.
and then additional controllers.
Yeah, and they could do also a full console, like full thing bundle where you get the tablet, the dock, and 2 controllers or something like that.
Okay. I could see
That's how I could see them doing it. But that Xperia name is just the closest brand recognition thing. They already tried to make a thing, try to bring that back, and then you get that PSX nostalgia in there. But I think Microsoft could do the same thing without releasing another console iteration, because they're already doing the Windows 10 Play Anywhere stuff. So what they could do is sell a Xbox integrated Surface tablet that effectively is a portable Xbox One and also a computer.
Yeah, you're right about that. Basically, that's a good idea for that. I was thinking Xbox would just become a subscription service like Netflix,
They could
Xbox
do
Live,
that too. But
and
they
then
could
you can just
also
buy a
have,
controller and sync it with your TV or your computer.
Yeah, you could do that on a subscription service on the Surface, and they could market that way. But I think it would be better to just make another iteration of the Surface tablet that's maybe just kind of a mid-tier or a little higher end that doubles as a portable Xbox.
An X-Boy?
Oh, God.
Yeah. I haven't tried Game Pass
Answer
yet.
the question?
No, that's I'm just because do we get away from disc-based media as a because it's been proven that that's the cheapest avenue, right? It's like how do you pull that off with a spinning disk drive? And is that even realistic? It's tough.
Not if we're going portable.
Yeah, that I think is the thing that's concerning, is how you pull that off, and if it is that we go, like, I'm finding that I'm almost to the point where I'm annoyed by the fact that I have Switch cartridges.
Really?
Almost.
Yeah, a little bit, because that is a little cumbersome with that flap to get those out.
There we go.
Them out.
Hello.
Audio good now? Echoing? Bad? No? Good? Bad?
No.
It's windy.
Yeah,
Here's Jared with the weather report.
In the future, it's bad. It's a radioactive storm. Whoa.
Okay, so
Suddenly a building landed around here.
Okay, so back to the discussion that we were having.
Oh, sorry. I'll
That's
just go then.
If you guys are sort of having a conversation that would kind of include him in a way, really, when you think about it, if you want any of those specific modifications, there's a guy to talk to.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's excluded from said conversation. I'm just saying we can continue on, and he can be a part of the further discussion. We were essentially talking about the next thing beyond console generations for whatever the Twitter thing that was happening was, and where they could possibly go with a Switch-like scenario for next console iterations.
That's
So like, what does a PS5 look like that makes it dramatically different than a PS4 or the next box?
Yeah.
You know, how do you get there and have it? Because at some point, it's,
and they'll
yes,
and they'll do it with everything.
What?
Iterate the next version of the Vita, I think.
Yeah, we already kind of went there with the Vita stuff. But
we're talking about like a dockable PlayStation handheld that boosts.
You're dockable.
This is true.
We can dock Musty in. And what do you think? Did you talk what a no Xbox could be about?
yeah, my theory for that was that they could do another iteration of the Surface tablet where it's Xbox integrated, where it doubles as Xbox, but it's just another one of their Surface line, because they're already doing the Windows 10 integration of the Play Anywhere. And Ryan said something about a subscription service for Xbox, and that wind is really getting bad.
Better?
Go indoors, buddy.
No, how long is the Hangout going for?
At least another hour or so.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I'll call you back in.
See, buddy?
Funny, man.
That was Jared with the weather report in New Zealand.
Back to Musty in the
In the studio.
It appears to be a windy day.
What's it called? The Shire Studios.
Shire Studio.
back to the Shire. Anyway, so
Yeah.
where were we going?
I'm not sold on the PS4 controller being a viable for me as a first-person shooter controller.
Well, that is a little
like-
odd because Bungie helped Sony design the thing.
I don't know. I think I like offset sticks on a controller.
Yeah,
That's not
totally,
to say that I'm not. I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, it is.
But I have years. I have years of training.
Yeah,
where my
it
thumbs
is
are.
a different layout. That is for sure.
You know, one thing I don't care for about
Eric.
One thing I don't care about for the
Eric's gone.
the Pro controller is granted the buttons still match up with the Super Nintendo, but I think the only thing that always throws me off is A and B on the Switch Pro controller because of how it is on the Xbox. That's the only thing that always screws me up is A and B.
Yeah.
Anytime I have to, or X and Y too, because I'm always like hitting the wrong one for that. Because I'm always like, that's right, this one. Because I don't know, just having to switched to memorizing the buttons yet for the Pro controller yet.
Anytime I see a press X button now, I'm confused all the time because they're always in a different spot.
Yeah, but to be fair, Nintendo hasn't changed their layout.
No.
But every other console wanted to mimic their naming scheme, so they switched the button layout around.
I know. It just throws me off now. I think
and
what
you
would
blame
help
Sega for that one.
Well, look, I think what would help a little bit is if they added a color iteration to each button.
Yeah.
Not saying it has to be kind of like if they did, granted it would be copying Xbox now, but if you did like the Super Famicom with the same color layout, I think then when it like let's say a quick time event is triggered where it tells you to press X or Y or whatever.
Yeah.
I would it would help me memorize the button layout more because that's I think how the Dreamcast worked for me.
For
I can
the
recognize
Switch
by the color
specifically, is that what you're saying for the Switch?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say you had that for PlayStation already, but
yeah, but for Nintendo consoles.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah, PlayStation gives you colors and symbols. You know, So it's a little bit different. It doesn't just the XBAY, you know.
It's valid one controller.
Isn't that coming too? Isn't that all in one thing that Rerez was touting?
Oh yeah, the all controller. The controller that works on everything.
To me, that looks stupid. I'm sorry. It doesn't
The
look
Dalai
good.
Lama of controllers.
Yeah. Really stupid of controllers.
I think it's a good idea. They might, if it does well, do different like layouts, like with the offset sticks or something. But as a Mac user who has had trouble syncing up the proper controllers on things, a controller that just works on everything is very appealing.
Yeah. As long as it's easy to quickly sync, that'd be the one.
And I can't imagine he would be involved in a thing that would be hard to set up, because otherwise he'd be critiquing his own product in a review.
I like the idea.
Mm-hmm. There'll probably be further iterations if there's stuff to improve. If it does well.
I see there's another edition of Breath of the Wild coming out now on Black Friday.
Yeah. That also doesn't come with the DLC.
I know. If it was a complete edition where you get like, well, I would want that to be on the cartridge, not a code for the DLC. I would consider buying it again. I would double dip.
I do not have Breath of the Wild on the Switch, and I've been very tempted. But I have it on the Wii U, so it's a little bit like, that's hard to justify. But if it comes with a little guide thing, even though I have the big hardcover guide for the friggin' thing that I've never read, that comes with a map, it's a little extra bonus thing that makes it more appealing.
It is tempting to buy, for me though.
Yeah. If anyone has an extra copy of Breath of the Wild, but not Mario Odyssey.
I'll say it is tempting though to buy the, what are you gonna call it? The Ocarina of Time 2DS. That's what I was trying to think of. I don't want to pay $80 for it, but if I had a coupon or something, I consider picking it up.
I really hope
Green
they
and
do
Gold
a
2DS. Oh, is it that Green and Gold 2DS Zelda skin?
On the Wedge model 2DS?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
It's not the new 2DS is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
Oh.
that's a little bit more strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally thought they were done.
Yeah.
You got your
they're still
Pokemon
doing
edition.
more.
You got your Pokemon edition new 2DS. You've got the orange and white ones coming. The one that they had in the in Japan. The Dreamsicle one.
I really hope they do a Switch release up-res of the 3D versions of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Like a double pack of that. That would sell really well.
Yeah,
like where
there's a
they
lot
make
of stuff that I want off of both 3DS and Wii U that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I want a really good high-def remaster of Mario 64. There's no reason not to do that. Like, they don't have to, like, redo the entire game from scratch or something, but, like, the Wind Waker treatment, I guess. They could even take some of the work that... They even could take some of the work they did on the DS and upgrade that.
I'm with you on that one. The only thing is, I think is they can they might just wait for a slower year maybe, or right now they don't need it. Maybe in a year.
Yeah, they've got to stagger releases somehow, because otherwise you just get a drought where it's like, we have nothing left. And we've released things at so quick a clip that people stopped buying it right away. So they have to stagger it out. But I hope within the next few years they do that. Especially since the N64 is becoming like the new nostalgic console, isn't it? Or it has been for a while.
It's already going.
Yeah.
Because GameCube nostalgia is not quite there yet, but bet if they made GameCube, if they whenever they decide to launch an actual like virtual console, still don't know what that's going to be. If they have GameCube support on there, then I think that will be the beginning of the big GameCube nostalgia push.
Yeah.
When we were in Portland, there was a few people around us who Dean could probably contest and tell you if he came on and could tell you who some of these people were, but they were close to completing their N64 collections. So it was more than just like 1 and 2 people. Like I've heard 2 or 3 people say like, "Oh, I'm like 10 games away now," or something like that, and I was like, "Oh, nice, that's cool."
Have you guys heard of Nintendo? Seen him?
I've heard of it.
No.
He has a complete 64 also, just like you.
Oh, that's right. I do have one of those.
That's right. You do too.
I do. That's right. Me.
This guy.
Our very own Rocket Sauce.
Yeah. The first to ever complete the N64 collection.
In the Cartridge Club. Maybe.
I like to think of all time.
First and only.
First and
only. Yeah. I am though looking. It's just not. I'm not. I forgot because I think Jeremy was asking me. Jeremy 3 was asking me at Portland. It's like, how does it feel? Because like I'm walking past these N64 tables, and I still am looking but I'm not like. It wasn't a priority. I am looking for like the variant colored cartridges, ones that have additional ones that I don't have. And now they are starting to get the translation games, the games that are good. They were never ever released in the US. There's a couple treasure games, one of them being Sin and Punishment, which I have. The Japanese one, I don't have an English translate version. There's some kind of a tank game by Treasure, and I'm drawing a blank on the name too. And I hear that one's pretty decent, even though I hear it's insanely hard. 40 Winks, I was looking at that one too.
The
so it's something
game.
Yeah, I think that's what I might have to.
Is it really?
No, it honestly looks like what's that claymation? What's it called? There's what was that one claymation with the guy and the dog? Not the Bible.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, that one. It looks kind of like that almost, at least from the cover. So, I don't know. It's like I said. So stuff like that. It's got my interest of picking that up. I found a guy on Etsy who lives about 30 minutes away who makes reproduction cartridges, and his prices aren't bad. They're about the norm. So I talked with the guy, and he goes, "Yeah, you can meet up, so you don't have to pay the shipping and everything, and hopefully I can maybe get bundled deals or something like that if I buy multiple games from the guy." So I've talked with him about it, and he said, "Yeah, just let me know when you want me to," because he said he will do reproductions of games that were never released that have English translations. He will not make reproductions of games, so he won't do your Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut or anything. He will do that, and he'll do hacks. So there's like Smash Brothers tournament and hacks. He'll make it so it has everything that tournaments use, and there's a couple other ones. I think I can pull up the store here to see what other ones he had on here. But that's the stuff that's starting to interest me a little bit more.
Question for the Midwest guys: should I take the Clint Eastwood print? I think that's the one I'm going to go with.
What are the print options? What are the print options?
The print option. There's a Doctor Who one. There's a it looks like Walking Dead because it's a guy with it looks like, it doesn't look like Rick, but it kind of looks like it's a police officer who's fighting a zombie. Or there's the Clint Eastwood pose, but he's kind of like decomposed.
Decomposed.
That's right. That's kind of the one I'm thinking of, is the Clint Eastwood one. I have to tell him which one I want. So
I guess I arrived too late to know what Musty is referring to.
Oh,
I don't even know.
Facebook group. You're in the Facebook group.
Yeah. Oh, I can do.
I won the drawing.
Oh. Nice.
I won one of the drawings, not the chainsaw controller drawing, because I didn't finish a game. But I won the first drawing.
I know what you.
So I think I'm gonna do the Clint Eastwood one. Sorry, I derailed that. N64.
I know there's
controller
Golden
ever.
Eye. Quiet you.
Do you think? So hold on. Do you think that Retro Fighters controller is gonna
Make it playable.
bring like a mini resurgence in 64 players?
I don't think
Maybe there's those people who have resisted it because of the controller.
maybe there's gonna be 100 review people doing it, which will make it sell the controller.
What's the controller?
I think the people who love the N64, it won't. The people who love the N64 aren't probably going to rely on the controller so much.
Sure.
I've already talked to my buddy Brandon about this because he still has he has a 64 hooked up to his flat screen TV. And he still plays it that way with the controller. And I've talked to him. I was like, "Hey, did you see this controller?" He goes, "Yeah, no interest." No, and like he's not a collector. He has the games that he loves for the 64, and that's it. That's all he wants.
Well, he's probably used to like the layout completely, right? So he just doesn't care.
Well, yeah, if you never stopped using it, then you don't get out of habit of using it. Context for FitNat, there was a Kickstarter that was going a while back for Retro Fighters. They were doing a gamepad for the N64 that actually is more traditional. It looks like a Wii U Pro controller or a Switch Pro controller, but will have a plug for N64, or will be exclusively an N64 controller. So the Kickstarter was like $20 to get in, and you get one. So I will have one coming. I will definitely show it off when I get it.
I really regret not doing that.
Well,
that's a really good deal.
They're still going to sell it, and you can buy time.
Yeah, I'll definitely get one or two or four.
If it's good, I'll get one. Because
I think with. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you there. No, I was just going to say, I think with committing to the Kickstarter, you saved $5 on the controller, but it seems like once it launches, and you pay the regular price, which is $25. I think we paid $20 for the Kickstarter.
So $35.40 Canadian.
They are gonna have color options, so they're gonna have N64 different colored controllers, and they're gonna working on like the see-through colored ones too. So you will have a chance.
You have to hope to keep up with production.
What's that?
Because if people that originally get it and it reviews well, it's gonna sell like stink, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah.
So the question is, will you actually be able to get one even when they're released, like not Kickstarter people, regular?
They have an NES controller too that is reviewed really well. That's why I was confident in buying it. I
thought their NES one didn't get funded. Or did they fund it outside of Kickstarter?
I thought it got funded because you can still order it through their website, and I know RGT85 he did a review on it, and I think 8-Bit Eric also did a review for it too. So
RGT.
How could you improve on an NES controller? They're like $2.
It helps for certain games that I want to say like Commando with anything or any kind of game like that where that top-down shooter
Isometric thing, I guess. Not isometric.
Yeah.
But
so they said with the addition of the analog sticks, it makes it a lot easier than doing the top-down view with a D-pad. For
twin-stick shooters, essentially.
Yeah, so it has an analog stick for that, so it helps for that, and it has built-in turbo buttons. So if you like that, and it's kind of got like, I'll see if I can pull up an image here of it. Retro Fighters. I saw the reviews. Everyone spoke highly of it, and I think it originally made the Kickstarter go for the NES one.
Nice. Yeah, if it's only 25 or 30, I'll definitely grab a couple of them.
Yeah, I have no issue.
I thought it was going to bump up in price, so that's why I was hesitant. Like, oh shit, it's going to be $60 now. But,
no, I don't think. I mean, it's Oh yeah, let's present.
There.
So that's the NES one, basically. I don't like the layout of the AB button here, but because I like mine straight on a line with each other.
Yeah,
But
like it seems like it'd be hard to do like running like Mario running. I'm so used to rolling side to side on like running Mario jumps.
Yeah, but actually,
That'd be like,
go ahead.
Yeah, so
For the form factor of that controller, that outlay it makes perfect sense because your thumb is going to be placed in that direction just by way of how the grip is formed.
I think it'd be fine. You're probably right on that. I mean, for Super Nintendo, I don't have a problem doing it for Super Mario World, holding down my finger on the B button, dropping it, or see how it's B in it. You know, that's what X and A or X and B for the Super Nintendo. So I imagine it's fine.
Yeah.
But
what about the N64 controller? Can I just see that
yeah,
one?
can you
Yeah,
pull
see
up the? I guess you can look up the Kickstarter for it. That'd probably be the
I'll
easiest
pull it
way
up
to
one
do
second
it.
here. Let me just unshare this for a second.
Show us you typing in your Kickstarter password.
Ooh, yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I have no issue with the layout of the N64 controller. I know people like have a freaking aneurysm when they try and hold that controller for some reason, and it's like that's not that hard.
No,
If it uses the
it's not
analog
as bad as
stick,
everyone makes it
use
up.
that.
Just,
If you use the D-pad, use that. You don't need 3 hands. It's fine.
Yeah, 3 hands.
But the analog stick is.
It's not. I don't have the problem with holding that controller. It's the fact that it basically just turns into dust on the.
Yeah, it's the analog stick's quality.
But
That's
the
the
analog
consistent issue. That's the only issue that actually needs to be solved. But doing
So
the
let's see
controller
it. I
with,
want to see what the new controller looks like.
Well,
but doing
some-
that and
here, I
adding
got some
like the
Google
rumble
images
pack
here.
functionality in there, that would be really cool. Just to have that integrated.
True.
Yeah.
We'll just share this
There's
part here.
practicality upgrades for that, and
And a mem pack.
yeah, and
There it is.
Sorry, previously on their page right now they have like updates they made to the controller because they've updated the analog stick now.
it's got the cage, right?
Yeah, so the analog stick now has kind of the in groove here. You can see right here how it's got the groove in here now. So they've made updates.
Oh, nice.
I know they said the majority in the Kickstarter is going to the development of the analog stick. So because they are aware of the knockoff N64 controllers and how one of the biggest complaints about them is how they are lousy and there's dead spots in their analog stick. So that's the main focus on is that. So I will be,
Hold on, that is an Xbox. That's practically an Xbox One stick.
probably. I think they said they're also going to add the grooves. How the N64 has grooves in the bowl. So that'll be the next phase. But yeah, this is generally the first layout design of what it is, and it's the color.
Good.
Yeah,
I want those.
I think they said they are also going to adjust the A and the B too, so it's going to be closer to how the N64 is with the C buttons.
Yeah, that looks like it's a little hard to reach.
Yeah, so grip. I believe they mentioned that too. But yeah, so they said they have a general prototype, and they've since addressed this, and they said the next step is I think going to be the bowl.
Is that
and then
TurboGrafx controller?
There's a turbo button. See, there's
no, I mean like down below that picture on the right side, the black controller.
This one?
2 to the right.
2 to the right. This one sounds like a 3D printed one here. Where
no.
Whoa.
2 to the right.
This one?
Yeah, that one. What the heck is that?
GBA temp?
Huh.
I don't know what that is. I don't.
Okay.
It looks like probably the NES one. I bet you this might have been the Kickstarter for the NES one. Probably.
Oh, okay. Just the color scheme made me think like TurboGrafx or something like that. Anyway.
It's a controller for your Game Boy Advance.
There's the NES one again.
Yep.
But like from my understanding from the 2 review videos, like I said, I just typed in Retro Fighters to see what people were saying about the controller. They liked it for certain games, and they liked.
It's got a clear button. It must do macros.
Either way,
that'd be
yeah, that looks promising.
Yeah, and so one of the things is the Kickstarter backers got to vote on additional shell colors. The Kickstarter models won't; they'll be just in gray. but I can't remember if they said which colors won.
Let's see. I can check their update real quick here.
They've been good about their updates too,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Atomic Purple probably won.
They might have it.
That'd be awesome.
Like,
That's what
I don't even need to look.
So
Got a
solid
gray?
black. The top 5 colors are solid black. Transparent purple is number 2. Transparent green is number 3. Transparent blue is 4, and solid gold was 5.
It wasn't the original name of the purple, the Atomic Purple, though?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
They probably can't use it.
That's my trademark. Well, it was like
Yeah,
what
second place.
tropical blue. They all had like a different name to it.
Yeah. Okay, so translucent blue.
I know because we could vote for 2 colors. You had the choice for 2 colors, and I voted for gold and I think one of the see-through colors. Or red. No, I think I did red.
And gray isn't one of the color, or that's the prototype, or not the prototype.
That's the original Kickstarter one, yeah.
And the other ones have to be different.
Well, the release, the public release will be the different colored one. So you'll have so they're gonna do probably 2 of the colors here. The top 2 colors will be mated. So and that's
Is the gray look? The gray looks pretty close to the original color of the original controller.
A lot of people had that.
I don't know though. Everybody goes for the colored variants of those controllers.
Yeah.
Not so much the gray ones. So
Yeah. I had the Atomic Purple one as a kid, so.
I currently have a gray, purple, blue, and yellow.
Yeah. I have one functional gray controller, my original gray controller, which is absolutely botched, and my Atomic Purple, which is botched. I very rarely used that. I've rarely played the console since I got a functional stick controller because I'm just afraid of ruining it.
I can show you this gameplay footage of the last update they have of it. The guy rolling with the grooves in the controller. Because they're actually showing a plane with some of the updates.
Sure.
See,
If that's
that
not going to
short-
be an issue.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too laggy. Sometimes the screen presenting doesn't.
Let's see here. Look.
You'll at least give an idea of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little choppy, but
Yeah.
smooth on my side. But you can see because it starts off with Ocarina of Time here, where you can see the grooves on the.
Oh, you can see the cage on the.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a prototype on the cage, but
Yeah.
Yes, that's a very rough cut.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, the major issue I have with my third-party controller is that once you get to a certain point in Zelda, it just becomes impossible because of how bad the stick is.
It's also, I know there's also
replicating it.
my issue with it is like I remember putting a rumble pack in, and the rumble pack just falls out. It's with like the hyper controller. It's lousy where it's like I'm playing else and rumbles and it's like blah, it just falls right out. Like like I said, the analog stick isn't as it's not as good. And I don't know, I've played a few games. I'm like, this is an awful controller. So
yeah, like as I said with the third party I have, I got to the Shadow Temple and I just could not make a jump because the controller was so bad.
I was really glad because first thing I was worried about, and then I remember reading the comments before I contributed to the Kickstarter that they said that their main focus was the analog stick. So I was very happy about that. So I still think I'm going to prefer the original N64 controller, and I hope to get a steel stick. There's a guy who makes them out of Norway, where it's got a metal bowl. You can almost always buy the metal bowl that goes up on sale all the time. Where people send them like broken controllers, and he eventually rebuilds the bowl for the N64 with a little steel bowl. But he also the stick is also made out of steel, but he doesn't sell that right now. That one he basically makes it all in his free time, and then when they're done, he sells them. But people who are Twitch streamers and pro Smash players for the N64 get first dibs over Joe Joe Below. So I have to get on Twitch here so I can get one of these steel sticks.
Well, that
Twitch
makes
exclusive.
sense. It shows the functionality of the controller and it sells it to everyone else. And the more people like that you get that into their hands, the more coverage you have.
Oh yeah, because there was a couple guys who broke world records on one of the last awesome games done quick, and then they're getting retweeted because they're like, oh, they used the steel stick and everything. So,
and then you can at some point, once enough people have that in hand, you can flip it around. So then it is just to the public.
Yeah.
So then
I'll just show this real quick here. But yeah, it's this is a steel stick. I know NJ Retro wants this too, but basically the guy built it all out of replacement parts, and basically it won't wear down, and you don't have to worry about won't have to worry about playing Mario Party 1 and wearing down the stick, and
Do you have to keep it lubricated or something, or is it just?
Well, no, not with well, it comes with a little lube, but the thing is that lasts for years. So I know.
Well, you can lubricate the regular iteration anyway to help cut down on that as well.
Sure.
I don't know what kind to get for that though.
I can.
That's why I haven't done it.
I can grab.
Hello, new taking out a text, people.
That's right. That's a Google search I do not want to look up.
Yep.
Lube.
Best N64 lube.
Yep. Oh, thank you.
I can show you which one you probably should use if you want. It's fairly cheap. You can buy a bottle for $4 at a hardware store.
Yeah, you can just send me a link or something later.
Sure.
Is it white lithium grease?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
I use that stuff on my doors, on my door hinges. That's.
Yeah. And you just put a very, very small amount because the more you do, they'll be really slick, but just a really tiny amount will go a mile.
Yeah, as I said, I've got a N64 controller with a good stick, so I want to get that set up.
Treat it well.
Yep.
Treat it
right.
I
forgot one of my pickups. I got a 3 terabyte hard drive for $40-something off of Newegg last week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to see because they had that PlayStation television was on sale for $100 on Newegg. Let's see if it's still there.
Newegg, nice.
Yeah, it just arrived, and then I realized that I didn't have, I didn't have enough power things to power it, so I had to order an extension for that, and then I didn't have a mounting bracket for it in the spot where it needs to go on my computer. So those are on order. I'll now have 3 terabytes of memory once that gets here on Friday, which is perfect. Should set me up for a while.
Just in time for the holidays.
That's right. Just in time to maybe reinstall Steam. Maybe.
There you go.
Now that I got my PC working again. Yeah. I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever contemplated abandoning an entire console from your collection?
No.
Many times with Xbox.
That always disappoints me with the Xbox then.
I ditched Game Gear.
I could probably get rid of the Wii. I don't care. I still don't care for the Wii. I have a few games, but I don't really care for it.
Xbox is so ideal though.
Oh, sorry.
What was that, Troy?
Said everything I had better versions on other consoles of those same games, kind of thing.
So you just cut it out entirely, or?
Yeah, I just took every Game Gear game I had and sold them at shows, and I threw out the consoles that didn't work, basically. Or rest of them to Yoshi.
Which is, with how he's doing it now, equivalent to throwing them out. With he's not doing it anymore, I didn't want that misinterpreted as a slight.
Yeah. but I did that, and I know I'm gonna have to trim down, so I think it's gonna be probably PS2.
I misheard you at first. I thought you said GameCube, not Game Gear.
No, not GameCube.
GameCube.
I'd probably go PS2 next if I had to. I'm gonna be put in a position where I got it. I don't think I'll get rid of all of it, but
Sure.
I'm getting rid of a good chunk of my PS2 stuff, mostly because it's all multi-platform stuff that is better on Xbox, as well as other games I just got because I was finding a bunch of PS2 games and buying them without really giving a damn when early collecting. So other ones just like, I don't care about this, I need to get rid of it. So there are games that I do need to get that I would actually care about. I just don't have them currently, so my collection is fairly small.
Yeah, I mean, I could see myself carving. I could probably carve my PS2 out. Like the stuff that. So of the games that are on PS2 that I would really want to hang on to, most of them have been remastered at this point. Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2, Final Fantasy 12. Both of those have.
Those are all in my sale pile.
Yeah, both of those have multiple revisions now. Granted, I have my Final Fantasy collection, so I think I would still hang on to them, even if I, even though I have the 10 and 10-2 PS3 remaster.
Yeah, I did the same with PS4 remaster of Kingdom Hearts and the PS2 versions. I'm keeping the PS2 versions.
If I get that PS4 one, I may get rid of my PS2 ones.
Yeah. That's just personal attachment for me. I don't expect everyone to keep it.
Yeah. Well, I played through at least, I don't know if I finished the second one.
I don't know either if I finished that now on further thought. I know I didn't finish the first one originally, but I went back and finished it later. The second one is so friggin' weird that I don't even remember what the hell happened. So I couldn't tell you if I finished it.
So trippy, huh?
Yeah, those guys are weird. Great, but weird.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, if I ever, it's like if I wanted to whittle down to like 3 or 4 core consoles for a collection and not have such a wide focus, like, could I do it? It'd be tough.
Yeah, my thing with that is, as long as you have the system, then any games you get you can fluctuate there based on your interpretation. But if you don't have the system anymore, your options are basically none, or get the console again.
Yeah, and that's kind of it. Like, you know, I know it's the year of Sega, but let me just use this as an example, right? Like
Xbox is close enough. They took over the helm with that one.
Yeah. So, you know, I got my Dreamcast, right? It's like, and I have 3 games for it. It's like, I was trying to think of how much actual use I would get out of it, but it's like, I want to keep I kind of want to keep the console because the console's
and
like having all of the consoles would be great if I would display them all, but I don't have a good display unit for that, especially ones that are not in use.
If you have this right model, you can just burn the entire library.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. I can do the same for my Sega CD. I should.
But as I said, as long as you have the console, those other options are open to you.
You can play Snatcher and not pay $800 for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Police Knots.
I think I have 5 Dreamcast games total, and I've had those since I got the console originally. And only one of those has been since I started collecting.
Yeah.
That's how scarce that damn thing is. I had to get that mailed to me by somebody.
Yeah, it's just that thought of like, you know, if you were in a, not that I'm in a bind. Don't interpret it that way. But if I was ever, if I was in a situation where it's like, wow, I should really just cut it down to my
favorites.
Core. What is it? Yeah, because like honestly, I could almost get rid of Super Nintendo and be okay with it.
Because you have the many.
I have the mini. I could put more games on the mini if I absolutely wanted, if I absolutely needed to.
Yeah, and
Although
other
I'm still-
emulation, RetroPie.
I'm still
stuff like
kind of
that.
resistant to doing that.
Yeah, just do a RetroPie at that point.
I mean, well, I mean, if you get to that point,
Buy
then
them.
there's no point in having a collection at all. You might as well just emulate everything
Yeah.
except for modern.
Oh, right. I mean, that's not. I'm just saying, there's not enough nostalgia for Super Nintendo. Like, if I didn't have a Super Nintendo wing of my collection, I don't think I would be hurting over it. That's just my angle on that.
Yep.
Because I didn't have it. Like, I would almost much rather hit Genesis hard instead. But the same kind of thing could be said for that, right? There's always an alternative if I just want to try something out. I don't know.
I don't know if I tackled this before, but Kyle, you mentioned Xbox with that, and this is not a specific thing to you. I just hear this from many people about that's the go-to system of like, I don't play this, I'm gonna get rid of it, and it's like that is so disappointing because to me, like, you look objectively at the original Xbox, yeah, it's give or take on what console exclusives you like, but if you look at that objectively for the system, any multi-platform game from that generation is 9 times out of 10 going to be better on that system, and more than likely that's going to be the cheapest version you can possibly find. The least practical multi-platform purchase you could possibly make, if you have the option, is to buy it on the GameCube. That's still an upgrade from PS2 in most cases, but that's going to get that Nintendo tax on you. Even if it's $1 or $2 difference, it's $1 or $2 difference on a game that should be $5 or less. So the original Xbox is the perfect multi-platform just library for that. And you can get 720p on certain games.
I do.
Yeah, like if you like X-Men Legends, there's no reason to get them on anything other than the original Xbox. 720p widescreen, cheapest versions you can find. That's why that bothers me.
You get X-Men Legends too, because you get Iron Man has a lockable character. But no, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, the original Xbox is really good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's just a hypothetical question because I'm not sure I could
probably dump the 360 because almost every game that I have is backwards compatible with the one now, where I could just
That's actually fair, but that's a similar reason for me with the Xbox 360 is when people say getting rid of that, and I'm not bugging you guys about it. I'm just saying that's the thing I've heard, and this is my rebuttal to that point. Is that it's much less apparent in that generation, but multi-platform games on that system are more times than not better than PS3 as well, in one way or the other. You get very rare instances where it's a clear line, like with Bayonetta, where that was just a straight-up botched port on PS3, and Skyrim, where that had issues on PS3.
Mm-hmm.
But very few instances put multi-platform games in favor of PS3 to any large degree, and usually it goes the other way. And again, they're cheaper and more prevalent to find in most cases. And I just really like the way that system is set up and compared to PS3, to be honest. And the backwards compatibility.
Yeah, there's some great inexpensive 360 games to be had now.
The PS3 has backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying the PS3 is a bad system. I'm saying for multi-platform titles, you're probably better served with 360 more times than not. That doesn't mean the PS3 is bad or that their exclusives aren't worth getting for the system alone.
But can you play Blu-rays on it? I don't think so.
On the 360? Who gives a shit? It plays all the other games better.
But you can play HD DVDs on it.
Ooh, and watch King Kong?
Or the original Transformers? The only one that wasn't a total garbage fire, although it was most of one.
A complete HD DVD collection.
That is an ironic collection I've thought about starting.
I don't know if anyone wants me to spoil it, but the World Series is over.
Well, now we know it ends. Thanks, Ryan.
Oh man,
I don't want to say if anyone was
There's not gonna
watching.
be another season?
Wins.
Did it leave on a cliffhanger?
No, it wasn't. It was
I just turned on Fox
compared
Sports Ghost
after,
like 30
after
seconds
game
behind.
5. After game 5, what's it called? It was games 1 through 5 were all really fun to watch. Yesterday was more of a stress game where I think people were tight, and today was just kind of like a nice victory if you're a fan of a certain team.
Okay, so since sports ball talk is happening, I'm going to be right back because that's a good opportunity for me.
Boy, he sure hates sports. Sports.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah. Bart gets right in front seat because he's a good guy at sports.
Good old sports. I used to follow quite a few several years ago, but kind of lost interest in sports ball myself.
I stopped watching during the regular season. Like that was the first thing, because like when I was a kid growing up, it was I watched all 82 basketball games, and then the playoffs.
I can't do that, man. I've
And
never
then I
done
would
that.
Oh man, like it was every night. Well, and I think I can attribute some of that to my dad. My dad, if there is a Chicago sports event going on, he's watching it. Or if it's the weekend, it's golf. Like he lives by that. That's one of the reasons why they have a hard time getting rid of cable, is because of specifically of that. But yeah. So what I started doing is if I have a team that I know is making the playoffs, I don't stress myself out. Or if I have a team that I'm confident should make the playoffs, that's how it is. Or I'll start paying attention when the pennant race heats up, which I think there's a lot of people who kind of follow that.
Captain Bandwagon.
No, it's not a bandwagon because
my team's good. I'm going to watch this year.
But it's still my team.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't leave my team and go watch whoever's in the pennant race. If it's a year where if it's a down year, I don't, I think maybe a couple of years ago I didn't really watch any of the Blackhawks games. It's not that I'm not a Blackhawks fan. It's just that I wasn't gonna, like, a 3-hour commitment on 2-3 times a week. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of missed gaming.
Well, what I do is
it's a lot. That's a lot fewer hangouts to have, Paul.
I have a 2 TV setup where I watch, where I usually have on the game as a background noise, and I'll play the game on the other TV. And I'll flip it because I have the box hooked up so where I can either watch it on either screen, basically. So if I'm playing a game like on the PS4 or PS3, Xbox, I'll put the game on the CRT and then vice versa. But it's usually on its background noise, and I don't watch every game. If I know, like, I saw the Bucks were down by 15 or something like that with like a couple minutes to go, there's no point in worth watching it, basically, But
yeah, like
I hear what Musty's saying is
there's no way I'm watching a Bulls game this year. I'm just saying, I'm just not interested.
The last couple weeks of the season could always be more exciting.
There's always good storylines, but yeah, that like at this stage in the game, there's not a whole lot to really pay attention to. It is what it is.
Well, plus I got my story nights on Sunday, my story time, my stories. I need my stories.
Stories.
I gotta watch my stories on HBO and whatnots.
But yeah, it's like I could watch 3 episodes of an hour-long drama, or 1 baseball game, or 1, hockey's probably a better example. That one seems to, like the way things time out always seems to be right about 3 hours.
So I think what you're saying is hockey sucks.
No, I really like hockey. Playoff hockey is some of the best stuff to watch ever. But regular season hockey can stink.
I wouldn't know. My city doesn't have a pro team, so I don't watch hockey. I have no interest. Fun to play, and just no interest in ever watching it. I could never get into watching the Emeralds. It was fun to go to Emeralds games, which is a minor league team where I live, but never. It's not something I'm like, oh, I need to go to I haven't been to an Emeralds game in years. I need to go. I just don't care. I'm like, whatever.
Same here.
There's plenty of things to do. There's music shows I like to go see every once in a while. Movies I like to go see.
Mhm.
I'm a very busy guy.
And 64 games to collect.
To collect, yes.
And clean and all that.
To never be played, only play shelved, you know.
That's right. But yeah, I mean that's
Some of them, I'm sure, right? Like you're not going to play all of them.
I've at least played every one that I've owned.
Like you
I picked
for like
up.
5 minutes, right?
Yeah, because there's no need for me to probably play NHL 98 or 99 back to back when Wayne Gretzky is the better hockey game, you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. What's you probably answered this, Ryan, quite a bit. What's the like worst of the worst in 64? Like avoid at all costs, aside from obviously Superman.
There's. I'm trying to think of something that I thought might have been good back in the day, but now it's lousy. Because I used to actually like our Marines, and I don't think it's very good anymore. What can I say here? We consult. I don't have my list here. Let me see if I can pull up my list here to say avoid.
oh, man.
Give me a
Super
second
Lucky's Tale comes out next week.
Yeah. There you go, Musty. I'll give you a topic of discussion.
Sorry.
No. I was trying to think of something to say like that, like from Saturday Night Live, where he's like, "Get verklempt, talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic."
Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island.
Discuss.
That's my go-to one. Ooh, new game with gold.
Anyone catching Star Trek Discovery? I don't know if it's been talked about or not, but
I don't have it. It's only access, right?
yeah, I did sign up for it just to mainly see if I could get hooked, and I wasn't planning on it, but damn, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Good. I mean, we started watching the Orville. We got.
I've yet to see that.
We got through 3 episodes of that. But no, I hadn't committed to. Yeah. To that. Stranger Things came out, so that's kind of taken over, at least for a few more days. It'll take over our what we watch. Hey, Nights into Dreams is a game with gold now. FYI.
It's a good choice.
Which one?
And Trackmania.
Yeah. Actually, on the note of the console stuff that we were talking about earlier, the portable stuff, I got an email for this week on PlayStation or whatever, and they're advertising the PS4 remote play on the new Xperia XZ1. No joke.
Interesting.
So Kyle, I'll tell you another one.
I do remote play on that Xperia. Oh, it's my Ryan wallpaper. You weren't supposed to see that.
The what?
Yeah, I like the remote play feature.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Blues Brothers 2000 is pretty terrible. Now that I look at it,
Oh yeah,
I hated that one when it came out. I thought that game was fucking shit. Sorry. I thought it was awful. Daikatana is pretty bad too. Any Acclaim made wrestling game, not the ones made THQ and when THQ and AKI made their wrestling games, those are fantastic. Every single one is fantastic on the N64. Anyone made by Acclaim is awful. So your ECW Hardcore Revolution, your Warzone, what's Attitude. Those are just unplayable games, basically. They're
I
terrible.
submit Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue.
That one's pretty bad too. The Rugrats games aren't very good either. Yeah, I honestly probably, if you ask the next worst one to Superman, is probably Blues Brothers. That one, that one's, it's terrible.
So I wanted a good, unique answer like that. So
Yeah. As soon as I
asked
saw
the
it
right
pull up
person.
on my list here, as soon as I saw it pull up on my list, I was like, yeah, that's number one right there. I hated it back in the day. I played it again recently. I even gave it like 15 minutes of like real trying to play it, and I was just like, no, this isn't good at all.
I know there's probably another one that I could submit for that, but I have no idea.
Xena, Hercules, those are bad games.
I want to say Dark Rift, but that's just kind of an okay fighting game, so it's not really horrible.
Because, you know, even though Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut is not a good game, it's also not like an unplayable fighting game or anything. It's a fine game. It's just very, very bland.
Yeah. Same
I shouldn't even say bland, because there's like cool animations with some of the guys, like the Jack-o'-lantern guy and everything. They have some real. It's just compared to some of the other fighters like Killer Instinct Gold and Smash Brothers. It's just it's like 2 tiers below that. Toy Story 2 is a bad game.
Yeah.
Toy Story 2?
Yeah, for
I
64.
that back in the day, but not for N64. I played that on the computer.
Tarzan, actually not a bad game though. Disney's Tarzan.
Better on PlayStation, but it is a good game.
Definitely not a bad game.
Oh, I got a couple more pickups I forgot to show you.
Bust them out, man.
All right, well, I have
Pull
to
them
screen
out.
share it. I have to screen share it because the one item is at my work and the other one is upstairs on a different computer. But this is what I found. It was one of these. It is a Kensington trackball mouse type thing.
I can't let you
Pretty
play
cool.
that.
I got it for like, I don't know, $7 or something. Pretty sweet. And then I also found this for $20. It was an Asus desktop computer. It didn't have 8 gigabytes. The mine had 4 in it, but I updated it to 8 because I ripped some RAM out of another computer.
That's a pretty impressive find for $20, though.
I know.
$20.
Yeah.
Do you have any credit card information on the hard drive there?
It had an account on it, but I just went in and the way I
Oh my!
How do I get out of that feed?
Inception.
But
game.
when I got it, it had someone in the account, the email, you know, because you go in and you have to log in and they have a password, and their email was a simpatico one, which I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but that's like old internet service provider, at least here in Canada. Simpatico emails.
I have no idea what it is even.
Yeah, it's like it was through Bell. Like if you had Bell internet. Yeah. And so that was on there, and I'm like, oh great, I can't get into this. And then one of the kids in my class was like, hey, just crash the computer. I'm like, okay. So I just turned it on, and then as it was booting up, I turned it off, went in and just said, okay, like troubleshoot this, and then reset the computer. So it was like stock, and got rid of all his stuff, whatever was in there, and just like reset everything, just like erase the hard drive, the whole bit.
That's smart.
Yeah, so I did that.
Recovery.
And then went in because it had Windows 8 on it. So I went in and if you want to update to Windows 10, use the accessibility options update on Windows site or whatever, and it will let you update to Windows 10 for free.
Really?
Yep. And so that's it just says like, you know, like a hard of hearing or whatever. You just go to Windows 10 website and find that accessibility options download page or whatever, and voila, you got Windows 10.
I might have to do that. I'm still on 8.1 here.
Well done.
And actually, I kind of like 10. After having it at work for a while, I kind of like 10.
It's definitely an improvement over that weird interface they had on 8.
think just I've used it so much at work. Basically, now I'm kind of used to the shortcuts and whatnot that come with it. There are a lot of bugs that come in and out, but there's so many updates that come with it. So, a meal place. Does anyone happen to know if CDs in Japan's region are region free? Like CDs all around can be played on any, or is that?
I've never heard of them having region lock on them.
For CDs, they're playable.
Music or
Yeah, music CDs.
I believe they are. I have one Japanese anime original soundtrack thing, and that worked perfectly fine for me.
You know that you mentioned it. I actually have a ska band from a band from Japan in the CD because I had somebody pick it up for me and play it on a CD player. So that was kind of dumb of me to ask. Sorry, guys. I was just looking at Play Asia right now.
No lock on those. I just looked it up.
They have the soundtracks for Near here on Play Asia. Here, I might pick them up.
Yeah.
Like the vinyl box that apparently is sold out, but
because they should get them on vinyl. Those aren't region locked.
I don't collect vinyl though, but it'd be nice.
That's such an impractical collection.
Vinyl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say as someone that owns 25 or more Intellivision games, but whatever. And an original Intellivision with that weird ass controller.
Vinyl's awesome.
Nothing wrong with
I've never listened to a vinyl record. I actually do have some. Like some of it's my mom's and some of it's my dad's, but or it was my dad's, but I actually have 3 for myself, which are the Star Wars original trilogy on vinyl, like not the soundtrack, not like an audiobook version. It is a book on tape vinyl version of the original trilogy from before home video was a thing.
And it's
book on vinyl.
It's I'm just saying the book on tape type thing because that's kind of what it's going for.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the dialogue from the movie with like sound effects and like a little narration, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Fill in the blanks. But yeah, $3 a piece at Value Village. That was a very random find. I don't have a thing to play those on, but it's cool to have.
Sound like they'd be fun.
Yeah.
So this weekend I'm doing the extra live stream.
Oh,
Yay.
yeah.
Yeah.
When are you starting?
8 o'clock Eastern, Saturday morning.
In the morning?
In the morning. On a weekend. What's at 8 o'clock in the morning on a weekend? That makes no sense.
What am I, a farmer?
It's very noble of you.
Do you have plans on what games you're going to play?
Still haven't figured out. I think I'm going to figure that out the next couple of days. I think I mentioned it last time, but I wanted to play one of the Super Bomberman games with 4 people kind of thing. So,
I think Troy
Those
just
are
beat
great.
one. Troy just beat one. He said one of them was really short, I think. From Polykill. Or Travis, I'm sorry.
you mean the Super Bomberman game?
Yeah.
The first one, I think.
Well, I mean, we were playing like the dual matches or whatever, 4 player. So,
That is fun times.
yeah.
So if I make a donation and I make a game request, will you play it?
Depends
You
on
like
if it's
the patch
boxed
to
or
see
not.
to see your podcast?
After he plays Donkey Konga.
Ooh.
I hear Blues Brothers on the N64 is pretty good.
Oh yeah. Do you have that one?
Yeah.
I'll donate to you.
Yeah.
No,
That would be
I'm playing games from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis.
I'm telling you, you make more money if you would say $5. I'll play a game for 5 minutes.
Crystal's Ponytail.
Any game, basically. Just have your games listed so I can, say okay.
Yeah.
Just do the Pat and Ian rule, what they do for their marathon, basically. Well, they do $25 for like a minute.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Unless
If you
they're
were
having-
going for other
What, they
systems,
pulled
that
out
could have been an
40
opportunity.
grand? Was it 2 years ago they pulled down 40,000?
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be pulling 40,000, but
Maybe 40.
yeah, $40.
No, I'll be there. I'll be there. I can't promise that I'll be there.
I'm not gonna be there for the whole thing, but I'll
There's
be
no way
tuning
I'll be
in and
there
out.
for the whole thing, but yeah.
I'm gonna. I have
Yeah, I
a
want to
better
watch,
way.
want to
keep
watch
an
some
eye
of
on-
that.
I have a better way to keep an eye on the chat this time around, so it's probably gonna be a little more interactive than just watching and then the occasional person looking over to see what was in the chat.
So can
I
we
got,
get you?
like, blowing
If we
up, blowing
donate
up
money,
bigger,
can
and
we
I
get
have
you?
the screen right in front of me.
If we donate money, could we get you to take your shirt off, or
I don't want to scare people away. Come
It's
on.
for the kids, man.
I say, show me something strange for this change here, buddy.
Strange as me wearing clothes.
Heyo.
D-pants, do it for the kids.
Derek, you are welcome.
That should be good.
I have a pretty sizable collection in all those systems. I wanted to get a power-based converter that I could hook into my Retron to do this, but it never happened at the shows. People just wanted too much.
I found one.
It's too much.
Does
They
that
wanted,
work?
like,
Does the base power base converter work in
Yeah.
the Retron? Okay.
They also have their own hyperkin version of the power base,
yeah,
which then
they
you can
had
use
that, but-
Game Gear games on it too.
I don't know if that works on the Retron though.
No, the hyperkin one does.
Oh, does it? Cool.
'Cause it's-
Well, too late for that now.
Unrelated, have you tried the PlayStation 1 version of that Batman Beyond game, by the way?
No, I have not.
Okay. Just checking.
But I do have that set aside for you, so whenever we do
Okay.
something.
Yeah, but I just want to know if you're willing to get rid of that PS1 version as well as the N64 one.
Oh, I was gonna hold on to one of them. It's not gonna be the N64 version because
Okay, that's fair.
yeah.
Either way, just figured I'd ask.
It is set aside for you. It is not listed in my collection.
Now I need to cancel my physical copy from PlayAsia for Wonder Boy for the Switch because there's getting a North American physical release.
That's got a sting for the people that got
Nice.
the limited run PS4
Well,
version.
it's different cover art, so
Well,
So
it's
they
It makes me
not-
happy. That makes me happy.
It's cool that that's getting a wider release. It's just that's got to sting a little.
but I mean the ones who got it. Do you think this is that this might be in response to the fact that there was such like an outcry over how
How fast it
much
sold out.
popularity that had?
That thing sold out instantly.
Right.
I
mean,
bet you
do
it
you
is. I
think-
bet you that was a sign saying, "Hey, this one probably can sell." You know, I bet you it sold number one. I think the best on the Switch.
Yeah, I was going to say sales numbers for that probably swayed them as well.
So here's the question though. You've got to get all those people who were interested to actually buy it. Because if they don't, and they went off of market research that said that you know this would sell. Like if those people now aren't interested, then that's going to not work.
I know Riggs did a video recently, like what games, because they're doing limited run games now for the Switch, and I kind of agree that I do want to see Bomberman Zero. Whether it
I
be
thought that game wasn't good.
Bomberman Zero, not Bomberman Zero,
Blaster Master.
Blaster Master Zero. I'm sorry.
Oh, Bomberman R is what. Yeah.
That makes much more sense.
Blaster Master Zero. I could see that one.
Yep. I'm also
That'd be
glad that
fun.
they're releasing Owlboy physically. It's a good looking game. I've played a little bit of it, but I got it in a Humble Bundle. It's pretty good, actually.
Well, my people, I need
Weird.
to get out of here. So
Boo.
All right. We should be back to Tuesdays starting next week.
sounds good.
And
Doesn't
probably,
really matter to me. There's nothing really going on at midnight around my house, anyways. Other than,
fair.
it doesn't matter what day of the week it is.
Fair enough.
Well, hopefully we'll all get to see you this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man.
Check out the stream.
Spread the message.
Yes.
As much money as we can get is a good thing to do.
Told you, man.
It helps the children. That's what it's all about.
Straining for that change, man.
Yeah. Probably do one test stream a little closer to game day. Probably tomorrow or next day.
Give yourself a day to work out any last minute hiccups.
Any last minute kinks in the system though too, like mic or whatever. How's my mic sounding right now anyway?
Could be better.
Like a little quiet.
It's been a little quiet
echoey.
this entire time.
I think what it sounds like, is there a microphone attached to your headset or no?
I don't think so.
Because it sounds like
It sounds like the mic is a few feet away from you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is above my head, so like it's up here.
Ah, okay.
Like way up there.
Yeah, that sounds when you project toward it, it
Yeah.
picks up a lot.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, that's how he's going to stream. He's just going to
Yeah, like this.
shout
All right,
out.
so, can't see what I'm playing, but
That's
I
fine.
might actually reposition it out in front of myself, and hopefully it'll pick up like this way. But it's just, I don't know.
You just got to get in there and just
Have a microphone in my face for 25 hours. I liked it like this because I could just sit in the room and then it picks it up, but it's not a very good mic. So, but as long as you
get those those omnidirectional ones like this you can turn it so it just reads off of the one side, or it can read off the back side too.
Yeah.
I just never do the opposite because I'm not picking up an entire room's worth of noise.
Yeah. Anyways, I gotta split.
All right.
Hey,
I'll
Troy.
talk to you guys later.
See you, Troy.
Yep.
The final four.
That's right.
Yeah. Are we going to continue on, or are we?
Fantastic Four.
For a little bit, yeah, we can for a little bit more.
Hmm.
Unless you're done.
I don't think you went to
Nah,
leave.
it's- I'm good. It's been a few hours.
Yeah.
I should probably take off too. I could go for a snack break, so
Yeah.
I might as well.
We
Mosey
I
on
just
that
had
one.
one.
We can wrap if you guys
Oh.
want to.
Yeah, we're over 3 hours, so
I gotta get some editing done before I go to bed. So
yeah.
all right. Well, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for coming by. To those to
Yeah,
the
always
one
good.
person-
Always good to chat with you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
To the one person still watching, thank you for sticking around. Yeah. We'll go ahead and close it down.
All right.
You want to say bye?
Yep.
Yeah.